Session 2 of Mask of Nyarlathotep. Characters are still in New York City. They found the Juju house. They found the creature in the Juju house. They found some ritual items and a book, and they still haven't followed through on all their leads from all the clues they gotten from Jackson Elias's hotel room and his murderers.
All right. Hopefully you remember what those leads are.
That's why I have the website.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a Matchbox, I believe.
From a bar we're not sure if it's actually in Asia, right? Yeah.
Well, it has an address of 10 Lantern Street. So
Yeah, well, that's right. We were going to go to a library and look up a map of Shanghai and see if that's actually the name of the street, and then we're gonna try to identify the skyline that was in that photo.
And then I believe there's a trip to Massachusetts planned to go to Harvard and Arkham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all the clues written down here because Madam has Doom been keeping a bit of a journal. We found some business cards for the Penyu Foundation, but that's in London, so nothing we can do now. We found a matchbook for the Stumbling Tiger Bar, which we suspect was in Shanghai. Then there was something with a letter, I believe, from Faraz Najir, who had a shop in the Street of Jackals in the old quarter of Cairo. Emerson Imports, that was in New York. We went there and they forwarded us to this Juju shop. And then we had, indeed, Harvard, Massachusetts, a book that was no longer in their possession. And there was also
which we found, right? Because we found that book that had the stamp, the Harvard stamp.
Yeah, so you found a book with a Harvard stamp. So you there's a high chance it's the book that the person was talking.
It's pretty coincidental otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was this Professor Anthony Cowles who had given a lecture months ago, The Cult of Darkness in Polynesia. And he had given it in New York, but he's now in Arkham again.
Yeah. So a lot of these things we can go on a trip to Arkham, right? Because the library there.
Yeah, and then you had indeed the picture with the steamer. The first letters of the name were D-A-R, and then we were going indeed to try and find the skyline where that was.
So what do you want to do first? Do you want to do the library? You're in New York City, so.
Well, if we're going to make a trip to the library in Arkham, are we? Where are we going to go to the library?
Well, the New York City library is a little bit better. I mean,
better? Okay.
Let me show you a picture of the New York City library. It's amazing.
Probably the forbidden section is a little bit smaller.
True. But references on China or whatever is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Shanghai or whatever. Now another clue might be, is Shanghai at this time in the 1920s, is it a really Western friendly city? It is. Because I'm wondering, why would the matchbox be written in English otherwise?
Well, I believe Shanghai is a possession of the British Empire at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
See, that's the New York Public Library. It is no slouch.
No, it's probably one of the better ones in the world, huh? You're right. It's probably a better one to go to.
Is that the same one out of Ghostbusters?
It's the same one as what?
Is that the same one out of Ghostbusters?
Okay, I'll do that.
It might be. I'm not sure.
Who are you gonna call? Narla.
Out of game, I went there when I was in New York, and the outside looked bigger when you see it on film. But when you're standing in front of it, it looks kind of tiny, but it's huge inside. So, but I was just kind of,
So you're in person outside, it's smaller than the inside.
Well, I mean, that's an old picture, because there's a lot of buildings around it, and they're huge, tall buildings, so it makes it look smaller than
proportion.
it is. But it's huge.
So
It's huge inside, though.
But now,
it's secretly a TARDIS.
It is a TARDIS.
But you look at this, where there's no surrounding buildings, it's humongous.
Yeah,
They're huge. Yeah, you can fit a lot of books in there if it's a big open space. A lot of books.
So we're going to the library. What are we researching?
Well, I think the first thing, do we have the name of we also have the name of the African tribes, right? Or in Kenya, the tribes that supposedly slaughtered the Carlisle expedition.
We have the symbol that was carved in the forehead that we can look at. We're trying to find. I
mean, I guess we should look up anything we can on the Carlisle expedition and the Carlisles too, right? Because we probably want to find find out a lot about that family.
There were Nandi or Kikuyu tribesmen.
All right.
Is there someone that we could show these items we required as well, do you think?
Possibly. You could do it here. You can also... Arkham has more woojie people.
Yeah.
So you take the Arkham...
Do I have any points of contact at Arkham, being a anthropology and archaeology professor? Do you think do I have like a professional contact that I think would be trustworthy?
Every character has 3 contacts that are empty slots, so if you want to use the slot for that, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you want to get a really good contact, you probably want oh, now I'm blanking out. The guy in the I don't remember his name.
You're talking Armitage?
Armitage. If you really want somebody, but he's a little unhinged. That's the only issue.
Well, but
way of putting it.
Knowledgeable comes with unhinged. Unhinged is good, right? I mean, the more unhinged he is, the better his knowledge. So let's go with him.
So you could take Armitage as a contact.
Let's do that. Most definitely. Okay, so then we'll definitely want to take all those with us on our trip to Arkham. So I will send.
Still look them up here too, but
well, yeah, we can try, and then he would definitely be
historical background versus potential occult type background.
All right. Well, when I get a chance, I just want to make a call to him or his office and just give him a heads up that we're coming out there with some interesting artifacts that he would really like to see.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, what do you guys want to look up first?
Tribe, maybe.
What was that?
The tribe, maybe.
Oh, the tribe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we try doing rolls separately, or do you want to have?
I assume you guys will just spend all day there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot to research. So
you could just do things in serial versus parallel, so then you guys can all roll if you want. You know, as you guys all look for stuff.
Okay.
Versus if there was a time constraint, then you probably want to do it in parallel, right? Different things in parallel.
Wow.
I've got a regular pass.
All right, let's spot library.
I rolled a 99.
library.
You didn't find a
Holding
thing.
this book upside down.
59, so I got a regular success.
You got lost in the stacks.
I can't make head Gill's book.
And Madam Doom's got a regular success as well.
So, what are you looking up? Which names?
I was going to look at the tribe, the African tribe.
Nandi and Kikuyu. Those were the two tribes' names we found.
Okay. We have to bring up a PDF and do a search on it. Too many words.
We were going to try and find Carlisle's, was it Erica Carlisle, his sister?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do find her contact info. That's
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think we have enough info yet to talk to her. I think we want to get armed with as much knowledge we can about the expedition and what the factors at play before we can figure out how to approach her.
okay. Okay. The other one was Nandi. Was the other one you were looking at?
Yeah, Nandi.
Okay, so
I'll post them here. Nandi and Kikuyu.
yeah, so I think the tribe. I don't know how big the tribe is. There are a lot of tribes in Africa. There's Kikuyu, Nandi, Maasai. A lot of people speak English. Most common language in East Africa is Swahili. So there's some Bantu structured trading language, which uses predominantly Arabic vocabulary. The biggest block of black population is Kikuyu tribe. They're mostly Bantu speaking.
So it's all rather boring stuff.
Yeah, more historical, nothing strange.
Yeah. No occult-like stuff, huh? Yeah, this library is definitely going to be short on that subject matter.
No mentions about worshipping the Arletotep or anything.
No.
Darn. Yeah, well, then I guess we.
What? Anything on the symbol itself that we found?
Yeah,
Anything?
roll the symbol separately. Do another library piece.
My dice do not like me today.
That is an extreme success.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what
Nice.
you
I got 92.
need. So that symbol you find out is a symbol of a cult called the Cult of the Bloody Tongue.
Ugh.
Oh, gee. We need to make sure we ask Professor Armitage about that one.
But now that you found the name of this cult, you find that a lot of the other tribes, like the Kikuyu and Maasai, dislike this cult.
Or is it just we just got the name?
Yeah, with the symbol, they have the name, and then you realize, oh, when you're reading about the Kikuyu tribes and stuff, you did see something mentioned about the bloody tongue.
Now, with the Carlisle expedition disappearing, was that an area that was known to operate? Can we find that out?
Cult of the Bloody Tongue is pretty secretive.
I mean, is this something that like we thought might have died out decades ago, or is like this something that in the material we found, it's something that pops up from time to time, kind of like voodoo, how it's something that's still being practiced by certain peoples in certain areas? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so something that you would is being practiced in like backwater areas or areas that the colonial white man does not go, kind of thing. Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think they're mainly in Kenya.
In Kenya?
Yeah.
And that the notes, hold on.
I'm really, really gutted my first character died because he used to go hunting in Africa.
Sucks. All right, so the information I have is the Carlisle expedition originally went to Egypt, and then they said we're going on a photo safari of other sites in Africa. As far as we know, none of their supposed stops can we find out if that was in areas that the Bloody Tongue was known to be, or is that information that we cannot find at this time?
Yeah, you don't find any information about that at this time here. You may have to get closer to where things happen.
Okay. But the group that was blamed for the actual massacre, do we know if they were practitioners of this cult, or is that?
Yeah, you don't know. You may want to talk to people there and find out. This is sort of the 1924 newspapers. They probably don't even have any local newspapers from Nairobi or anything like that. So, I mean, your newspaper stacks probably mostly have.
Because the original article said it blames the Nandi tribesmen.
Yeah.
And we haven't found any connection between the Bloody Tongue and any Nandi tribes. So we just know the Bloody Tongue is connected to this symbol. All right. Any other ideas?
I'm just reading some of those old newspaper reports to see if there's anything in there that's standing out.
Well, maybe we can link one of the artifacts we found to this cult. I don't know. Maybe that will give us some more information.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the things you picked up, you probably need to take to a museum versus the library, right?
Yeah.
Which we don't want to necessarily do that because they could be stolen, artifacts. So we want to let's definitely wait to take those to Armitage.
Okay.
That'll be a bit more discreet.
So
We wanted to check out skylines in, for example, Shanghai to see if we can link the picture with the steamer to
yeah. So the steamer picture, you definitely find it matches skyline in Shanghai.
Okay. And then also a map, like a street map of Shanghai, to see if we can find the address of that nightclub or whatever it is.
Their maps in 1920s for Shanghai is not very. Only has like major streets, so you can't tell.
Okay. Well, maybe it's on a major street. I don't know. So we can't find it.
You don't find it.
Right.
The other problem is cities like that have streets that names change every other block almost, where you're driving or walking and you cross the street and now the street's a different name. So that could also.
So would we be able to find something about the Penhew Foundation or Erica Carlisle?
Yeah, you definitely can get information on those two. So, those are well.
I know I'm not an archaeologist or anything. I mean, my character is into antiques. Can he have a look at these items just to see if there's anything, if we can gauge an age of them, perhaps? Or
Yeah. So, do you just have archaeology, or do you also have assess?
So look at the stats. So I put my history quite high for being an antiques kind of guy.
I thought Dave has an archaeologist, right?
Yeah, I have archaeology, anthropology.
Yeah, his archaeology is probably way up there. So
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, you look at the items. Let me see.
Standard success.
That's good enough. I found the Penhew Foundation. Okay.
Yeah, I have regular successes for both Penhew and Carlisle.
Okay, so the feather robe is definitely African. Doesn't seem that old, but there's some use patterns and stuff, so it looks like it's been used. The scepter is older. It's even though it's wood, the wear pattern and the patina shows that it's pretty old, and it has Egyptian hieroglyphics carved on it.
Would I know anything about these items by checking my occult knowledge?
Yeah, do your occult.
And what about for my anthropology, archaeology, and I speak Arabic? Maybe
Yeah, so for the bowl, you can read the bowl actually because there's some Arabic on the copper bowl. The Egyptian, you probably need to get a book to do a translation. I mean, there's only a couple runes, so. But I don't know if they found the Rosetta Stone yet, right?
Yeah, I think they found that early. That's like,
okay.
I could Google it. But I thought it was like before the turn of the century. Let's see, maybe I'm wrong.
Occult is a regular success.
Yeah,
well.
the Rosetta Stone was found in 1799.
Okay, so yeah, if you do a lookup on some hieroglyphic things, you might be able to find the hieroglyphic translation to Greek and then to English. So for the scepter, you translate the Egyptian hieroglyphics. It says, Nambi, thy power mine.
Nambi?
Yeah, let me type that in.
That's on the scepter, right?
Yeah.
The bowl, that's the writing. Which one has, that was the hieroglyphs we just translated?
Yeah, that's on the scepter, and I'll probably update the handout section.
Okay.
Then we should look up Nyambi.
Sounds African. Being as my character has I can't even say linguist. Does that Nyambi look African to him?
Well, it's
The word.
Oh, the word. Nyambi. So you can try look it up and stuff in books, and with your knowledge, you realize that it's a Western South African name for the supreme god. So Nyambi is the name of a god.
Hmm.
Okay, so the claws, it shows use and age. Definitely a ritual item, but also can be used as a weapon. The copper bowl. It's etched with some runes and signs. And the only thing you can read in Arabic that's drawn on it is some words.
Mm-hmm.
And it has something to do with dreams, but you're not sure.
Oh.
It's like
That's right. I think we translated that last time. I recall that.
so it has something like the phrase "the dreaming."
Okay.
So, I mean, to me, the mask, well, looks definitely African. The bowl is possibly Arabic, and the gauntlet could be possibly Eastern.
Yeah, so it looks like there's the cloak is African, so the cloak is African. The claws, it's called lion claws, so I would say they're also African. So.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So most of these are African items. I mean, it's just that different parts of Africa, right? Like the bowl. I mean, the Egyptian is the hieroglyphics is Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Arabic, more Saudi Arabia-ish. The mask is definitely also African.
Okay.
So do an archaeology roll again for the mask.
All right. That's a hard success.
You know it's from Congo.
Congo. That's the mask.
While we're in the library, can we skim read the book Darkest Secrets of Africa?
Yeah, it's yeah.
What language is the book in?
It's in English, so it's easy. Yeah, they don't have how long it takes, but I don't think it's that long. So let me see if I can find a better version of the description of the book.
Okay.
Because this one doesn't have the quick read, so
So this gets more widespread every time. There's something in Arabic, and then the class coming from Congo.
no, the mask is from Congo.
Oh, mask, sorry.
So why don't you do a skim, do a sand check.
That's a success.
Okay. So add 3 Cthulhu mythos. And then roll a die 6 for sand loss.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a 1.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a good exchange.
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
mythos for 1. But that's just the skimming. If you read more, you think you can get more out of the book.
Yeah, definitely. Knowledge.
It's oh, there's 1 spell in the book too.
Awesome.
But you'll have to study it more to figure out how this. You know it's a spell because of how the text is formatted and the description. You know, it's like if you open a cookbook, you know which parts of the ingredients list and which parts of the other stuff. So
Yeah.
because of by skimming through, you go, oh, I think there's 1 spell here.
Okay. And but it wouldn't say anything like as to what we could use it.
You know, since you have this, it's called Africa's Dark Sex. It does talk about the bloody tongue.
Okay. So I'll have to. How much time would it take to read it completely?
Yeah, they didn't put enough info. So I think this book it's easily written. It's not one of these ancient old books. So I think you can read it in a few days or even a week, right?
Yeah, well, I'll start reading it then every time we're traveling. When we're driving to Arkham or Harvard, I'll be in the back seat reading the book, and when we're in the hotel, so.
Yeah, get that dark knowledge. Spells are cool.
Let me see if I can find more. info about the bloody tongue in there. So the bloody tongue symbol is based on a sect that was driven out of Egypt, dynastic Egypt. And now they're mostly centered in Kenya.
So they moved from Egypt to Kenya? Or
Yeah.
they're, wow. Okay.
Driven out.
Yeah.
2000, over 2,000 years ago. Shit.
Huh.
And they now reside in Kenya, did you say?
Which is where the Carlisle expedition was massacred.
Coincidence?
So it sounds like then maybe the expedition, I mean, we'll have to do more research into it, but that's interesting that the expedition went to Egypt and then Kenya. So I wonder if the expedition was just a front to study the cult activity.
Maybe they just because they had this scepter with the hieroglyphs. Maybe they just got their hands on like the wrong artifact and started following trails, like we did in the Juju shop. We weren't expecting what we ran into there.
Yeah, but they put together a really big, high-profile, well-funded public expedition. It wasn't like, you know, you'd think if you were just doing your own investigation, you would lay low, right? You wouldn't want to draw attention to yourself. So
yeah,
it's kind of odd that they made it this big public thing. So that I wonder if it was just, it had a public face and what they were really after, you know? Maybe they were trying to hide themselves and what they were really doing by being real public about just the anthropology and archaeology part of it.
yeah, you're right.
So
but it seems a coincidence. It doesn't seem like a coincidence that the Carlisle expedition went to the two places that we just discovered where this cult operates.
Mm-hmm.
So the spell, you can sort of translate the title of the spell. It's something like create servant, something
Oh.
like that. But
Yeah.
but when you look in the ingredients, it includes a human body.
Whoops.
Well, we seem to come across those quite often. Shouldn't be a problem.
Remember, maybe that's how they created those zombies that we ran into the other week.
Yeah, that's true. That would be really
Wow.
handy because not only those things, as we learned, are pretty dang powerful. So, if we're ever in a scrap, that would be good to have at your side.
Yeah. So now that you know that, you start looking at it, and now you realize it says carve this symbol on the forehead, which you already have, and it talks about pulling out its intestines as part of the ritual. And
that's what they were doing to Jackson.
Yeah. And the zombies we found were in the same state as well, weren't they?
Wait a second. I'm just checking on a map here because the article said that they went to East Africa. Kenya's in West Africa.
Yeah. I mean, they moved from Egypt, so maybe they've moved. Who knows?
Sorry.
All right, I'm just Don't mean to throw a monkey wrench into our plans or anything like that. All right, but I'm saying the bloody tongue was operating or had been driven out to Kenya, which
from Egypt.
Okay, but I'm just all right.
Hey, probably you're holding that map upside down. You rolled 99, right?
That was on the book end of things. I knew which way the globe goes.
Okay, so Penhew or Carlisle. Let's see, Penhew. Oh, I found the page earlier. God damn it.
And in a few months, you're going to get this really organized new edition of Masks.
When it comes out, you mean?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it comes out.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll be in the middle of it, and then there's extra stuff. But I think they said they're going to add options to make it more purist versus pulpy, because this was a little more pulpy when this came out. So, Penhew Foundation headquarters is central London. They have an address. I don't know if you care. Bloomsbury, north of Oxford Street, west of the British Museum.
Yeah, I think it was on the business card.
Yeah, between Regent's Park and the Thames. It's a high Victorian building. Apparently, they have a Egyptian collection on view from noon to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Hmm.
And yeah, so that it's sort of a museum area, and then they have a private collection, but you need to be an accredited scholar to be able to handle their other artifacts. Their main job is evaluating scholars, granting funds, negotiating permits with the Egyptian authorities, arranging itineraries and schedules.
This is the Penhew Foundation,
Yes.
and they're
Yeah,
in
so we'll need
and they're in
London.
London. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What a shame, I just come from there. Yeah, we're going to need them definitely, because we probably will go to Egypt. At the very least, we will need them to
They don't have an office
organize our trip.
So there's no office in New York. It's only London, huh?
Yeah, and the person who runs the thing went on the expedition, right? So he's missing.
Whoops.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we can get the Arkham. We can talk to Armitage. Maybe we can get Arkham to fund it as an expedition and equip us.
That will be cool.
They have this guy's name, but I'm looking for his title. So there is another guy in charge now that Penhew isn't there. I guess he's like a general manager, but let me check.
So if there's anywhere else we can try whilst we're still in New York.
Director. There's a director called Edward Gavigan, Gavigan.
He's the director of what?
Of the Penhew Foundation. Age 55.
So he'd be in London then.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to go to Egypt, we could go to London on the way.
Yeah.
And then Carlisle. Let's see.
So I've got Google sort of maps up at the moment, just see where all these locations are.
With the so her brother, I think it was Roger Carlisle. Oh, they don't give the name. But the surviving Carlisle is Erica Carlisle.
Mm-hmm. Is she an older or younger?
I think she's younger. She's 26 years old, and she's now the sole heir to the Carlisle fortune.
Okay, so that gives us kind of a clue to how to approach her, right? She's a young, impetuous, probably not a whole very knowledgeable.
So the Kenyan courts declared Roger Carlisle dead, and so now she inherits everything.
Yeah, so we probably want to appeal more to her emotion than intellect, I would think, as a 26-year-old. Maybe we can tell her we discovered a clue that leads us to believe that her brother may still be alive, and if she helps us and you know gives us all the information she has and maybe even funds our efforts, because she went after them, right? Remember, she made a trip there to try to find out.
I don't know if we want to give her that much false hope, because I don't think her brother's alive at all. And
I just want to manipulate her into giving us knowledge and support. I don't care about the results.
I would go for more a justice angle, that we might have stumbled upon the actual perpetrators of her brother's demise. And
yeah, but what she's interested in is him being alive, because she went after him. She went to try to find him. I mean, maybe we'll find more information as we do more research. But
so they never found any bodies. They just found that, you know.
Yeah, she didn't believe what was printed in the papers and what the authorities had said was the official cause of death, right? So she made a trip out there using her own resources and time, and she did her own investigation. And she stated that she thought that he might still be alive.
So what's interesting is you see in the papers that Miss Carlisle, she's still single. It's in the social papers and stuff. And what's interesting is after she was given the control of the Carlisle company, which deals with transportation, munitions, import and export, she actually
munitions.
yeah, she actually managed the state really well, and the company has flourished. And stockholders are actually happy and mentioned that Roger Carlisle is gone, and now she's in charge because
She's a
the
smarter
stock
one.
price has gone up. Hey, wait until 1929.
Yeah. It's just too bad. It's too bad she's a woman in the 1920s, right? Or she could actually like be more successful and wouldn't have to do it all behind the scenes.
Harvey's got cogs going around in his brain now because of, him being a cold man and all.
I think she's. Let me check. I think she's more local to you guys. I think she's near New York. So
yeah, we're near.
But they did found the bodies in concealed graves, apparently.
Well, I'm reading the articles again, and it was basically saying that they found some of the body,
and it was like it were not identifiable.
But they apparently they never found. Among other expedition members believed lost are Sir Aubrey Penhew, noted Egyptologist, New York socialite Hypatia Masters, and Dr. Robert Houston. But I don't think it is clear on whether they found bodies of. They found remains.
That's at least 24 expedition members and bearers.
Yeah,
so
that's another name. That's actually a good bit of information. We need to look up that name, Masters, because she's a New York socialite. So maybe she has ties to Carlisle, young girl. And why would she be on an expedition? Was she Carlisle's girlfriend? That's something we probably should research. Who is she? Why would she be along on?
So
well, then also in the final piece of news, it indicates that that certain members of the expedition might have been taken away to a secret location to suffer most savage treatment. So yeah, I don't think the bodies of the important members were found. I think what they found were the bearers and the entourage that accompanied them.
Yeah.
It says on the bit where the murderers were hanged, they failed to give up. They refused to reveal where they hidden the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like a rapid trial, and there was no real evidence. Like it seemed like there was just a rush to find somebody to blame and execute and get it closed.
Okay, if we go to her and say something, we should say we have information that maybe her brother's still alive, or at least we might be able to find the body if he's not, and lay it to rest. I don't want to give her any false hope. Let her.
Why? Why wouldn't
she's a rich lady with lots of resources, and I'm a small-time detective tied to organized crime, and I don't want to get squished by anybody.
I don't know. She doesn't seem like she's a threat. I think she's more of a resource. Well, I mean, we'll see.
We want to keep her happy. We want to keep her on a good side.
So she does have a estate in Westchester County, half-hour north of New York City, on the Hudson River.
Yeah, it's all the world people.
Yeah. Okay, can we look up that other name to find out why that person was on the expedition?
Oh, which one? The
socialite.
Oh, he was supposed to be a photographer to document the expedition.
But I want to look and see if maybe there's some other tie there to the Carlisle family.
Well, a lot of these sacrificed to the cookie god.
You wouldn't take a New York socialite as a photographer on an expedition. You would hire a well-traveled expeditionary photographer. You know what I mean?
I think in this terms, photographer is sort of a euphemism for girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look up. Like,
so you're gonna look for it? Okay. I'll let you do library use just to get a checkbook.
Okay. All right. 0, 1.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, sorry. I read about this. 10, but it's still an extreme.
Okay. So you're going, yeah, you must be your girlfriend. Then you flip over a newspaper, and there's a picture of Roger Carlyle and Ipatha Masters.
Yeah.
And he has, like, he's either holding her hand or has her elbow in his arms. And it looks like they're at a party.
Definitely a girlfriend then. Okay. So maybe that's something to potentially ask the sister about, because the sister would have some information about a background and know more about the relationship and stuff. So, okay.
But would you think that she's somehow involved? Because otherwise it doesn't really make any difference if she's his girlfriend or just a photographer.
Well, it'll give us more insight into what the nature of this expedition is, because it's clearly not research oriented. Because you wouldn't, if it was research oriented and you were focused on a successful outcome, you wouldn't take your girlfriend.
If you're a rich playboy, you would. You really would. If you in those days, if you were a rich playboy, absolutely.
But then
that's the kind of thing you did.
You don't want your expedition to succeed then if you load it with people who aren't the best qualified to do it.
Well, that's a lot of.
But people, he had those as well.
Yeah, I think there's just a bunch of rich dandies and a few scientists who are tagging along.
Well, so far,
the scientists are just there to try and gain something from the money being pumped into this, and then the rich guys are just. They just think it's fun and cool. Oh, let's go to Egypt, find a secret grave.
So far, we've only learned there's only one person on this expedition that actually has any expeditionary knowledge, and it's the guy who was the head of the foundation. That was sounds like he was an archaeologist, right? He's the only one that's qualified to do this expedition, and it's loaded with individuals that have no specific knowledge or skill in it, which is really strange, which is why it seems to me like the whole expedition is a front for something else. You know what I mean?
I just think they were just sort of rich people that wanted a bit of a jolly,
Yeah, but the only person who will have insight into what Carlisle's real motivation is maybe his sister. And so the more information we can get about the people involved, the relationships, the more that we can, impress her with our understanding of the situation and the chance that we'll be successful if she puts her faith in us to to go investigate. So maybe she'll be more forthcoming with information.
All right, so how are we going to approach her?
I think the best way to do it is emotionally. I think we should lead with. I think the in would be we lead with we have information that suggests your brother is still alive, and that once she hears that, boom, I think she's going to want to meet with us. And then once we meet with her,
I should just use my charm on her if you like.
Use what?
I use my charm on her if you like.
I think this would be the better way to get in the door, right? Because that's what she's hoping for. And so when she hears that,
you know how many people have tried it already? She's rich. She's loaded. Every week, people are on her doorstep saying, "Your brother's still alive. No, give me money."
No, everybody's on her doorstep trying to appeal to her by charming her. That's not the right way, because she fends those people off by the droves. I think if we came to her and said, "We think we have some information about your brother being alive," boom, she will be interested immediately, and then we can talk to her about, we can concoct a story about putting this kind of little evidence trail together that would lead average person to conclude that, ooh, there is something to research here, and then we can say, we have the skills, the knowledge we're a bunch of experts, and we're willing to go research it with her help and her blessing, and then see where we go from there. See if she'll give us some information.
I would just think we want to find out what happened to your brother. If you're going to say he's still alive, that's going to backfire, I think. But
I don't think so. I think that because she her whole life being a insulated, wealthy person, business owner, whatever, she spends her whole life trying to find bullshit and fend off people who are after her for things, and I think we have to hook her.
Are you a very good bullshitter? Because you're going to have to be.
Yeah, I could do it. You mean character-wise? I've got.
Well, okay. Really, all we had died with our friend Jackson, because he's the one who telegraphed us, saying that he had information concerning Carlisle expedition, and he wanted to bring us in to help investigate it. Now he's dead.
Well, if you want to try and persuade her, I got persuade of 60. I can try and.
So persuade is with the truth versus fast talk, which is lying. So.
So if we did want to go down the route of saying, look, we want to try and help find the brother. Is it brother? Yes, brother, isn't it?
Well, I'm a bit of an honest person, but I think though that they have a really good opener there, because we were invited by a friend of ours. We can show her the telegram. We can tell her what happened to Jackson Elias and what happened in the juju shop afterwards, and just say, look, we're onto something here, and we want your help.
Well, I don't think we want to open with that. Because what if we don't necessarily know what her motivations are, so we don't want to give up our entire hand of everything we've investigated and what we know. I think we should start by finding out what she knows and let her divulge information. Because what if she's hiding something, or she's being deceptive? We don't want to. Then we're now in a role where we've put ourselves in a vulnerable position. We're at her mercy because we've outed ourselves, and she can now decide who she tells or what she does. Right? I think we want to go the opposite way. I think we want to be the ones that hold everything back and let her have a motivation to open up to us and tell us everything she knows.
Well, didn't she go over? Didn't she go to Africa herself there to try and find him? So that says a lot. That
I mean, she has knowledge. She went to Africa, so she did an investigation, right? So she knows something. She found some pieces. She found some knowledge that we need to get out of her.
Well, the hardcore bits of information that we have are: we had a friend who was a noted author who asked us to come to New York to help him. And when we showed up in his hotel room, he was murdered, and we did battle with some cultists that led us to the juju shop. We don't have to give her everything, but there's a connection going on here between her brother and what happened to Jackson. There's a line connecting the two. Jackson found out something and was killed for it.
Yeah, I mean that's maybe a good part of it, but I don't think I'd go into the Juju House piece because
No, we wouldn't call it that. No.
Yeah, because that's like direct involvement with this cult, and we burned it to the ground and released a monster into the streets. So I don't think we want to tie ourselves to that. Right
okay, we should take this to a vote because otherwise we're going to keep on discussing what we can say. I think we should just go with one of the two plans. Because there seem to be two, right? Yours and then the Jackson plan.
Well, but we can tie them together. We can use Jackson as part of the because we have to give a convincing story, right, as to why we believe that he may still be alive, and so we could use the Jackson incident as part of the story as to that maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
but if you fail to convince her there, it's end of story. If you open with something like your brother's alive, and you fail,
I'm not going to say
she doesn't believe you.
Alive. I'm going to say that we found evidence that he may be alive. We don't say that he's alive. We know he's alive. We could say that Jackson was in the middle of looking into. He kind of reopened the Carlisle case, and he was investigating it. And in doing so, he attracted the attention. Why would these people want to kill him and keep him quiet if it was a dead case? And part of his research is he was tracking down leads that led to the location of where Carlisle disappeared, and so that we want to let her know that the trail is no longer cold, right?
I agree with that much. I agree that we do that, and then we also have the little carved symbol that means it's the bloody tongue, which is operating in Kenya, which is where the expedition was last seen before they were found dead.
Yeah.
So there's definitely connections. So yeah.
Okay, sure. Let's go ahead with this.
I think we should wait. I think we still should do some research because we still should go to Arkham first and talk to these professors because we still could get some information that's usable in this. Discussion. I don't think we're ready to talk to her.
Isn't she in New York though?
Yeah, but we're coming back to New York after we're
bouncing around. We're going to go up to Massachusetts to do some more research. Plus, we need to do some research on her because she is a rich person who probably has a schedule and an itinerary, and you want to pick the best time to approach her. You don't want to throw up on her doorstep saying, "Hey, crazy stuff's going on." She might freak out. You may want to get her when she's in a public place that she feels comfortable in, like a restaurant, or maybe if she has
because that sure feels comfortable when somebody approaches you in a restaurant.
I don't understand. I don't know how she's gonna react if a bunch of strange people show up at her doorstep. Is she gonna call Jeeves? He'll kick us out or what? I don't know.
That's funny. That reminds me of. Do you remember Saturday Night Live? They used to do that. The messages from Jack Handy or whatever, and there was one where it said, the best gift for the President of the United States would be a chocolate gun, and because he's so busy, you should probably run up to him to give it to him.
Okay, so we shall go to Arkham first then.
Did we do research on the Carlisle expedition and her at the library? Because those are things we can do too.
Yeah, I gave you the type of information. She does do benefits and society events, so that's possible.
Okay.
Well,
what about that?
Busy with the business too.
Well, we should hit Harvard first because we need to find out what book.
Well, I think we found that we have the book.
Huh?
We have the book.
Is that the book?
Yeah, it's got a stamp from the Harvard librarian.
Okay, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Forget that.
Yeah.
So you want to go to Massachusetts then?
Yes.
Okay. Where first?
Well, Arkham, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say, well, you already called ahead, and you already, Dave, why don't you roll your luck for seeing if
Okay.
Armitage is in?
Okay. That's why I was hoping to prime the pan with the phone call to him to
I'll
make
give
sure
you a
he's not on
bonus
next
die
station.
for setting that.
Yeah, 12. I need it.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, definitely when you want to meet him, he's actually there, which is incredible
Okay.
because he's always very busy and paranoid. So
Okay. Yeah. So we'll want to go visit him.
okay.
Well, we had some items to show to him.
Yeah. And we want to ask him about the cult, right? We know the name of the cult and the god. What was the god that was on the scepter? All that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it goes, oh, Nate, you said you have stuff for me to look at.
Yes, we have quite a treasure trove of wondrous worldwide items that are in your neck of the woods and their particular use in ritual beliefs.
So do you bring them in a crate or in a paper bag or?
Yeah, I'm sure we probably put them in like suitcases and stuff that are easy to travel with and pad them or whatever.
So the first thing he asks is, are they safe to touch?
Well, we've touched them, but we don't. Other than a few inscriptions we've been able to read in Arabic and things we've been able to infer, we don't really know the nature of most of the items.
Oh, so you touched every item.
Yes.
You go, oh, good. Well, bring it over here, and so they take you to one of the floors in the library. Like there's like an office, but it's one of those rooms where it just has a table where it's for visiting scholars to look at rare books and stuff like that. So he goes, yeah, put it on the table. Let me take a look.
Okay. We'll lay them all out. And I'll let them know what we know about here. The bowl, the Arabic scrawled around the bowl says something about dreams. The Egyptian hieroglyphs on the scepter. We couldn't translate, or we were no. It said now Nambi, thy power is mine. Right. That was on the scepter.
Yeah.
And these are all together when you found them.
Correct. And I mean, how trustworthy is he? Do I trust him pretty implicitly?
Yeah.
Okay, then I think we should tell him about the circumstances that we were investigating some activity that led us down into the basement of an African curio import shop, which turned out to be a cult lair. It appeared we encountered these walking, shambling, dead monstrosities, and in there was a pit with this hideous horror, and they had a ritual table set up, and on these items were all found on the table.
And he goes, when you say the thing in the pit, you see like part of his face twitches a little.
Like, oh man, the last Sunday I had a similar experience.
Just unload on the guy, man. He's I don't stand now.
He goes, oh, has anybody tried putting on the mask?
No.
No. Did we?
Here, you do it.
No, you just want to know.
Your little
All right.
dog, you put it on and see what happens to it.
I can put it on if you advise me or you think I should.
I don't know. I just want to know if I already did that. Already.
That didn't look like the safest thing to do somehow.
No. That's why I also asked if you've touched any of these things with your hands.
We touched them all.
Yeah, we were all over them.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, when you put it all together, it looks like an outfit that one person would wear for performing a ritual, right? You put on the robe, you put the mask on, you hold the scepter, you have a bowl in front of you that, you would mix something in. It looks like it's all one single ritualistic
So
outfit.
he looks at the mask.
With the claws.
He looks at the mask and he goes, oh, there's no straps or ties or handles for this mask.
That's why we haven't tried it on, because there's nothing to actually wear it with.
And he knocks on it and he goes, it's wood, but I can't quite place what type of wood it is. This seems unusual.
Well, so it's not any kind of tree bark you've seen before?
No, but you do see does have the wood grain on it, but it has a very light heft to it, and it has an interesting color to it. But he says he can't figure out what it is.
Could somebody at the university science lab?
Yeah, maybe we can get one of
let's get an intern. Hey. So maybe this will give you a clue. So when we went down into the basement of the Juju house, we noted that there were Kiyuyu warding signs scrawled along the entrance, which seemed to be keeping whatever those creatures were in the basement locked down there.
So
Is that true?
You,
The big one got out, remember?
Yeah, so apparently it didn't stop that thing. That's what the giant copper plug was for, a metal plug in the ground.
Oh my God! So he's looking at the copper bowl, and he's actually, you could tell he can read what's on it. He goes,
so are you saying this wood is not of this earth? That it's from some other kind of place?
maybe, but I was thinking we'd bring a botanist to take a look at it.
Okay.
Good idea.
But this bowl, it has a ritual inscribed on the side.
Can you translate it?
Yeah, it's and this is not copper either. It looks like copper, but it's not copper.
Okay.
Some people call it copper from above. It's like some sort of meteoritic sort of copper from outer space.
So these are not just chintzy import ritual items.
No. I think this bowl, if done properly, you can send your dreams to somebody, I think that's what this is for.
Oh, well, could you please translate the inscription for us? Maybe at some point it'll be
Are you
pertinent.
sure about that? Dabbling in these things.
Sometimes, in order to understand the unknown, you have to step into the unknown.
When you say transfer dreams to others, do you mean, I take it you don't mean as in you have a dream, do you mean thoughts?
Like
Not
influencing people, right? Could be useful.
No, it's more like making somebody dream something you want to dream.
Yeah, like for example, if a dream were sent to the Carlisle sister, she had a dream that her brother was still alive. And then we show up a couple of days later with some hope saying, hey, we have some information.
You're so persistent.
I'm just saying.
Awesome.
You say that, he goes, yes, you could do something like that. Then someone may think it's a prophetic dream.
Yes, and would solidify a need to help. Yeah, so, okay. So yes, if you would please translate the inscription for us so that we can understand it. Translate the ritual.
It's quite a powerful thing for a mob, for like a group of gangsters to use, isn't it, really?
$1 million.
Yeah. When you've seen the things that these gangsters have seen, though. A pair of pliers and a blowtorch doesn't exactly seem like the proper tools for the job. Okay, what about the scepter that has Nambi, thy power mine on it? Does that ring a bell with him, Nambi?
No, but here I have it. Here's the dream thing. Let me look.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was, I think, sort of Western, South African name for super.
Fill the bowl with herbs and a couple drops of your blood.
With seven different herbs and spices.
Yes.
Make the dream figure looking good.
The target must be asleep and within some sort of distance from the caster, so it's not like across the whole world.
Okay.
And then you must oppose. So you have to oppose power roll. So you have to impose your will upon somebody else, and if you do, then they get your dream.
Someone with a good power needs to do this. Which mine's not too shabby, but I imagine what Doom. What's your power?
45.
What is it?
Mine's 45.
Okay.
I'm next to unstoppable.
Yeah. So,
Unstoppable.
yeah. So exactly. So that you would be our dream machine. Nice.
So
But that's right up your alley.
I
Right?
can do that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like something like this would be is right up your alley for.
You'll be our dream weaver.
Yeah. There you go. Cool. Well, that's a very useful thing. All right.
And Armitage is quite happy just to tell us how to use this thing then.
Well, he always, of course, gives you the warning. These things shouldn't be used lightly, etc., etc., etc.
The long list, the warning label. Symptoms may include.
Don't go swinging within an hour of casting spells.
So we have to do the spell casting check to see if you do it properly and all that. But we'll do that when you try. And
Okay. Nice.
so the staff is not sure. He's thinking maybe it's used to invoke the god. He's not sure, but
Well, I mean, okay, this god is. What was this god in the pantheon of?
Yeah, like what is the god of? Is he? I imagine he's not a benevolent god, right? He's some kind of.
it's a African god.
But yeah, but what's his persuasion? Is he like the god you pray to when you want people to get healthy, or is he the god you pray to when
I think
you
it's
want them to suffer a horrific death?
I know he's like their version of Odin, right? So
he's like an all-powerful, kind of all circumstances god.
Well, he's the top of the pantheon god.
Okay. So then it's like the scepter is kind of like a cross. Then it's just a very generic.
But you're not sure he's not sure what it does.
Okay.
But it does say thy power mine. So
yeah,
he's saying it feels like somehow it grants you power. Maybe like it says like Christ, thy power mine, right? So give me the power of Christ, like the power of Christ. Give me the power of Christ. But you're not sure. And he's not going to experiment. But if you guys want to experiment, that's fine.
Yeah. Just don't do it while I'm here. Let me go behind the blast shield. All right. Well, we got some good info. Does he know anything about the cult of the bloody tongue?
He says he'll have to do research.
Egypt and Kenya. Okay, that's something we're interested in. Also, the Carlisle expedition. Does he recall anything about that?
Yeah, no, he wasn't interested in those guys.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to have to shoot off, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So it was good to play for a short period of time, though. But yeah, I'll look forward to hearing what happens on the playback.
All right.
So Doom, do you want to learn the spell? Is Doom doing the spell thing?
Hi, Matt.
See you later.
Learn the spell.
Yeah, I'll learn the spell.
She'll be a wizard. A witchy woman.
I'd like to learn it too if he's teaching it. Might as well.
Okay,
right?
learning a spell.
Yeah, that would be a useful spell to send messages and dreams. That'd be cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's do that.
I can think of some big time uses for that.
First, you have to do a hard int roll, so you have to make half your intelligence.
Okay, let's all try it because who knows? Some of us might fail. We have to make half, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Half. Nope, I didn't make it.
I made my int roll.
Okay, so half or just regular?
I made it. Well, it was the actual roll was under half, right?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
I made it because I also get a bonus die.
Because I didn't.
So you think you got it?
Can he help the others who maybe just got a normal success?
I mean, if I can help the others, I will, because it's a useful spell to have.
Yeah.
So if it's taught by someone who knows it, it takes half the time.
All right.
But still,
Okay.
you still have to make your int roll, your half int roll.
Can we try again later? Like if we keep trying?
Yeah, basically it says usually it takes 2 weeks, but if somebody teaches you, maybe it takes a die 8, 1 week or a die 8
Okay.
to learn to try again second time.
So what's the spell called?
It's called Send Dreams. That's the mundane name. It's
called Dreamweaver.
Yeah. The name in the book is probably a lot fancier, but this is the generic name they've given it. How about Doom? Did Doom succeed or no? Do we lose Doom?
No, just a regular success.
Oh, so Doom didn't make it.
Well, I will help coach them.
Yeah, and we'll have some time. I have a feeling we're gonna be doing some traveling. So.
Okay. So the thing is, you had a low POW, so you could still do the thing for the dream if that was the stuff you want to try, or you can wait until these guys figure it out.
How much power does it take to activate the spell?
What was that?
How much power? How many magic points? My power is 4. My power is a medium. I've got a 40. How many magic points does it take to cast the spell?
You don't know.
You don't know until you try it.
Spell.
You don't know until it drains you of life. but let's wait. I mean, we don't need to cast it right now.
Yeah.
We still, you know.
And also, the spell does say you have to be within a certain distance of your target. So.
All right.
And it's some weird units.
So do we know what herbs we have to burn or whatever?
Yeah, it's listed in the ingredients list. So you need to get those herbs. You need to put some of your blood in it, and then you have to light it on fire. And the range of it is more in miles of your target.
So we'll have to get back to New York. And then we have to buy those 7 herbs and spices that make the dreams very juicy.
Unfortunately, one of those herbs no longer exists because it was an aphrodisiac that was like farmed to extinction by the Romans or something.
Yeah.
So you can substitute rosemary.
Yeah. Cumin. It's up for it works in everything, right?
It's always from those mummy movies, Tannis leaves.
Yeah. Hashish.
But you have to light a lot of marijuana.
Good dream going there.
Breathe it in.
Yeah. Well, great. That was great information. Okay, so I guess what else we want to go talk to that professor who was giving that lecture?
Yeah, we find that guy.
That's right.
That's right. He's here.
Yeah.
Let's stalk him.
Cowles. Professor Cowles it was.
Yeah.
So who has the lowest luck?
Probably me right now. Let's see. I have a 26.
Oh, that's pretty low.
Anybody lower? No? Me?
You're the winner. Roll your luck.
Winner, chicken dinner. All right. Hey, can I spend? Oh, my dice hate me still. All right, I didn't make it. I got a 47.
Yeah, so you guys go to his office, and he's not in his not the university office.
Do you want to like pick the lock on the door and see if there's anything in the office?
Yeah, you can try it. You can pick the lock of the door if you want. It's not that hard, probably.
Let's try that. Come on, dice. My dice still hate me. Nope.
You must be really paranoid. You can't pick the lock on his door.
Not getting in that way.
But yeah, you knock on the door. It's locked, and he's not there, and you couldn't pick it.
Hmm. Do we really need information from this guy, or is he just a nice add-on?
I think we need the information because it was one of the leads Elias Jackson was pursuing. So I would really like to talk to this guy.
Maybe what we can do is, because he's a professor here, he's a tenured professor. Maybe we can go to the library and find his lecture. Maybe he submitted the text of his speech or presentation as a document in the library.
All right, to the library. All right, that sounds cool. So do we all want to roll, or do we want just one person with highest?
Yeah, whoever has the highest, just
okay. Library use, mine's pretty good. I have 80.
That's way better than mine.
Okay. All right, here we go. Normal success.
So his lecture was about some Polynesian legends and about an Australian death cult called the Sand Bat.
The what?
Sand Bat.
S-A-N-D-B-A-T?
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah.
Okay, so the Sand Bat, and you said they're from Australia?
Yeah, Australian.
One of the editions of the Companion was called the Sandbat edition.
Okay. And there was no name of a cult that was from Polynesia?
Yeah, some of the Polynesian legends discuss them also, and he found that it was like discussed in something called, let me type it in.
So,
Called the Penape scriptures.
Say it again. How do you spell it?
I typed it in the chat window. He found it he read it in the University of Sydney, had a copy of this.
How's it? Okay, University of Sydney has a copy. What's the nature of that book?
It's let me find it. I hate how they don't put all the data all in one place. Yeah, I know I saw it somewhere. Oh, it's not this one. It must be in the main book. This is one of those books that they talk about in various stories.
So it's one of his famous mythos tomes.
Yeah, it's one of those
generic mythos knowledge. Okay. So what
here,
we found out.
It's It's a book written by Captain Abner Ezekiel Hogue in 1734.
Okay.
It's about his adventures in the South Seas and some cults he ran into. So that's sort of basically what you sort of see from there. But this is just, yeah.
Does the Miskatonic mythos section have a copy of it?
I think it's missing right now because, according to this, it was lent to somebody. Well, yeah, you look it up. It was lent to somebody, and it's missing.
Do we know who?
Yeah.
Who signed it out?
John Scott of Boston, Massachusetts, never returned.
He must have a hell of a lot of late fees. Okay.
Which is funny. Then they reference another scenario.
What do you mean? If you want to go try to find it, or what?
Yeah.
It's a scenario
Cool.
from another publication.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
Guy
that's
has
cool.
it, and he's from this scenario.
That's really cool that they tie that into another published adventure. If you wanted to go that way, that's cool.
And you're now saying you didn't prepare this?
we have to go find this guy right now.
So interesting. So now we have a lead. We have two cults, the Bloody Tongue and the Sand Bats, right?
Yeah.
That operate in different parts of the world, and they both move. They're both very migratory, right? They both started in one place and went to another. Like, because the Bloody Tongue started in Egypt, then went to Kenya, and the Sand Bats started in Polynesia and then Australia. So we have these world-spanning cults.
Is there any more information you get on the Sandbat cult just from general looking, like anything mentioned elsewhere, like what their ceremonies were, what gods they worshipped, or what, or is that?
Oh, that's interesting. Let me see. Here.
And also if there's any ties between the two cults.
So the little bit you can find is the sandbat is a foe of the nature god rainbow snake. The sandbat is said to erupt like a sandstorm from a great cave in the sky. I don't know how to pronounce it. Among the Gadahora in those original cave of the city of the Great Ones, it's also known as the black shape, known as the hungry wing. Further east, the Binabudabi, it's called the face eater. Then let me, there's a symbol for it. Let me cut and paste this. Let me find it.
I don't know. This doesn't look any brighter. Face eater, hungry wing. Maybe you should just let them solve their own problems.
The problem is you leave them alone, and their problems suddenly become yours. And when monsters start running through New York City, Harlem, right?
Yeah, but we had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that. Huh?
Oh, well, I cleaned it up, but I don't know where it saved it. But I'll just drop this here. So their symbol is that.
Okay.
It's kind of like a reindeer with antlers.
It's a cult of the red-nosed reindeer.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't sound very dangerous anymore.
So do we know if this was an Aboriginal cult or a sort of Polynesian cult that emigrated to Australia? Like not just like Polynesians emigrated to Australia and carved out their own little niche, or is it something that was sort of just practiced by both groups?
It may have traveled over there, so that was a good idea. It seems like it traveled over there from Polynesia.
So I mean, other than this being the topic of the lecture, there's no real ties between the two groups that we can find.
No, except for somehow Jackson Elias was interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's investigating these cults for a reason.
Yeah. I don't see why else. It could still be either one of the two that. Oh no, it's definitely the bloody tongue that got him killed.
But that's the only info you get from the lecture notes. You may want to talk to this guy. I don't know.
Yeah. Can we? Does he have a secretary or something?
You look around. You can ask.
You know who I just popped in my head. Well, who should really go talk to is Jonah Kensington, who is the editor and owner of Prospero Press, who printed the books that Jackson wrote. He might know what Jackson was working on that got him killed.
Yeah, but we're still here. But
So I'm saying
just,
some further, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll ask around and see if there's some way to. University staff has to know where he is.
So you ask around, and Professor Cole's. Oh, he has a really pretty daughter.
Nah.
Why am I playing an old woman now?
Well, college kids.
Oh, I hear they're going back to Australia in about 7 months. So what a shame.
Do you know where he lives with his pretty daughter?
Yeah, they live in a bungalow on Pickman between West and Garrison. Yeah.
Good.
Bungalow on. Well, let's head there then and see if we can get a hold of this guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So you go there and you actually notice that somebody's at home, from what it looks like from the outside.
Well, I guess we knock at the door.
So you hear this. You check to see who's at the door at lunchtime. See who it is. And then this very pretty young girl opens the door. She's Just 20. Okay. Oh my God, her appearance is like 90.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, hello, my child. Th- we've traveled all the way from New York to come and speak to your father.
So she shot.
About a mutual friend of ours. So, is there a possibility that we could talk to him for a minute?
Yes, we're just having some lunch, some sandwiches. Why don't you come in? Come in.
Oh, thank you
You
kindly.
like tea or coffee or something too? Just come on in.
Oh, some coffee would be great. Thank you.
So you see this? Yeah, they don't have a picture of her, but they have a picture of Professor. That's a professor.
Wow.
Are you sure he's the father?
You never know, you know. He goes, oh, visit us. Come on, sit down. We're having some cucumber sandwiches. Come on, have some sandwiches.
Well, thank you for your
thank you.
hospitality, Professor.
That's really kind of you.
We're here. This is a professional visit.
Oh,
I'm a professor of archaeology and anthropology, and unfortunately, we're from New York, and we missed your presentation several months back that you gave on subject matter. I forget the title. And since we were in town, we thought we'd pay you a visit and see if we could ask you some specific questions about it.
oh, certainly. To travel all this way just to pick my brain. That shows great initiative.
Yes, well, it was a very interesting lecture that we wish we were able to attend. So we were hoping to take up some of your time and hospitality and perhaps get the abbreviated version.
Oh, well, sit.
All right, and hopefully we'll just have him run through his spiel, hopefully.
Yeah, he goes through the thing. It's so he collects strange stories about strange events and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he has more of an open mind. So he does believe that there's certain things like magic and monsters and underground cities, though he wants proof to prove that it's there. So he tells you these stories about Polynesia and New Zealand.
Okay, what kind of stories?
Cults there. Notably, one called the Sandbat.
Oh,
Tell us about the Sandbat, Professor.
Oh, well, there's a crazy cult out there. I feel like they're expanding. I've heard that they creep about the poor slum areas in Australia too.
Expanding. Weren't these cults a thing of the past?
Well, they like to prey on the poor and the disillusioned.
So what you're saying is that your researchers have led you to indicate these cults are still functioning. They're not.
Oh, yes.
Because, well, a friend of ours was doing research into cults as well. He actually a famous author. Maybe you know of him, Elias Jackson.
I've read some of his books. He does good work. Let me think. Yeah, I've read some
good work. He did good work.
oh, jeez.
unfortunately.
Did?
Yeah, he came to an untimely end, I'm afraid.
Oh.
He oh, go ahead.
Um, in many ways, it seems like his death could have been related to the similar of the subject of your study. These strange ritualistic groups that are migratory and use symbols and.
There's also the other stories I told of. There's this great giant squid thing in the middle of the ocean. He's supposed to be sleeping, and then like a galactic alarm clock, when the stars are right for some reason, he wakes up and it's the end of the world. It's another one of those apocalyptic type stories.
Is there a date associated with when this celestial event is supposed to occur?
Oh, I have. Who knows what they mean by when the stars are right? But they gave this creature some name, Cthulhu. I think that's what they call it.
Oh, bless you. You need a napkin?
Oh, no. The name is Cthulhu.
Are these? Is this some being that these cults worship or have connection to?
I guess they worship. Well, the Sandbat cult, they worship the Sandbat. They don't worship this the squid thing. Yeah, I had translated. Actually, I was interested in this book by this sea captain. In it, he talks about some cult that worship these sort of human fish type creatures that come out of the sea. They call them like deep ones.
Wow. And have you ever heard of this cult of the bloody tongue?
No, never heard of those.
We understand that you're getting ready to do an expedition to Australia. Are you going to?
I'm returning home. My guest lectureship ends in
I see.
7 months, and I get to go home. Yeah, these sandbats, they do like the desert. That's why they're called sandbats. They're not in the cities, even though they recruit from the cities, I guess.
Have you, in your research, have you uncovered any activity from this group, the Sandbats, in other deserty locales such as Africa or Egypt?
No.
They haven't done any. They haven't shown up in any other parts of the world other than the Pacific.
No. It's definitely a Polynesian, Australian, New Zealand phenomena.
So are the Sandbats multi-ethnic, or are they all one group, like Aboriginals or Polynesians or?
Yeah, the Sandbats are more Aboriginal.
And what's the best way to recognize their cult? Is it by that symbol alone, or is there a specific way they dress?
Oh yeah, he draws the symbol in like coffee on the table or on a sofa. So what I hear is some of them have tattoos.
Of the symbol?
Yes, of their cult, to prove that they are a member, but they always put it in some hidden area, because if you easily see it, you would know they belong to this type of cult. So they have to hide it somewhere, and then I guess it seems unseemly, but and he tells his daughter to like close her ears, because
it's in their no spot.
They have to flash it somehow, like maybe under the armpits or under their tongue or somewhere where you normally wouldn't see it.
Interesting. And can you describe their manner of dress for their rituals? Like what kind of maybe robes or masks or ornamental items they would use in performing their rituals?
Oh, the Sandbats. They like to use a club of polished eucalyptus studded with sharpened nails. Sometimes they have thorns, bat teeth, or claws of bats embedded in the clubs. But in the cities, if there are some there, they would use nails because it's harder to find these natural things to stud their bats with.
No mention of like masks or robes.
I would think maybe the high priest or the other ones might wear some sort of thing to make them look like a bat, maybe.
What about claws? Like, would they use like bat claws as weapons?
No, they like to use a club.
A club.
Maybe because a
And-
club and a bat, a baseball bat, and sounds like a bat, maybe.
Yeah, that's a highly educational response.
Does this
symbolic magic?
Absolutely.
Some
Does this being
like two words have a homonym, and they like to, like in Asia, they don't have the fourth floor because it's death. Because four and death sound the same, so they don't have it. So maybe bat and bat,
Yeah, it's possible. And do you know if this sandbat creature or god thing has other names? Is it reference to sometimes with more obscure titles, or
yeah, like Hungry Wing, the Face Eater. They call it, the other tribes may call them that.
yeah.
Okay. Do you happen to know anything about the Carlisle expedition?
No. Didn't they disappear like
Yes, in
a
Africa.
while ago?
I can't think of anything else to ask him.
But would you happen to have a copy of these Ponape scriptures?
No, I had done a loan from the Sydney University, and I had returned it. The one I had borrowed. They only let you keep it only so long before you have to return it.
Yeah, well, apparently the copy of this library here has never been returned.
Oh, that's a shame. It's just affects people's scholarship when people do that. They just don't know how
Absolutely.
important knowledge is.
Would you say that research into this sandbat code is dangerous? Have you ever felt threatened?
Well, usually I bring a native guide or two, and it always helps to take a shotgun with you. So, when if they have like a club and you have a shotgun, you could stay safe. I mean, just don't turn your backs on the Aboriginals.
What was that?
I don't know.
That was me. Sorry.
Okay. Turkey's done.
That was my wife texting.
Oh, it's time for me to turn to werewolf and kill.
All right. I can't think of anything else to ask him. You guys have anything else?
Me neither.
Is the Australian government aware of this cult? They sound pretty active in Australia.
Well, that's these different fringe groups, and of course, if they do any violence, it's a local matter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any reports of that they would have done violent or
Well, there's
maybe
always
human
just rumors.
sacrifices?
It's just rumors. Rumors. Always rumors.
Always rumors. Um, we don't spot a tattoo on this guy like the one he was describing.
On his forehead or in a private place.
No. Yeah. Well.
The demand he disrobes right now. And
Yeah, he's not in his underwear. He's in his
under his tongue.
coat and tie.
Now, how did you learn about all of these things? Aren't you afraid your life is in danger when they want to silence you?
Well, you can tell not very many people believe me about these things, especially like giant squid rising from the depths of the oceans and fish people and giant whirlwinds of dust that come out of the desert. I mean, how you will believe those stories? I just think they're fascinating, and one day I'm going to find proof.
Okay.
I'm sure you will, Professor. Don't give up hope. Keep at it.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Thank you for the
I'm glad you're interested in these things, and if you see any type of thing that would help me in my research, contact me. And if I've gone back into Australia, find me there. Right now, I have a friend, Professor David Dodge. He's watching my house over in Australia right now.
Okay, maybe we should make a note of that. So this guy, what's this guy's name?
This guy
David
is
Dodge.
Cole Cowles is this guy, and then there's a Professor David Dodge that's over in Australia right now. That's house sitting for him.
Okay, can I get his address in Australia? I'll say,
Yeah.
make it to Australia. Let me get your address, and then
then we'll put a card.
you a visit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll give you an address. 1920s. They're not that paranoid. You're white.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we don't really have anything else to ask.
So were we going to do anything else in Massachusetts? Or was this it?
There was the librarian.
Oh, that said the book.
That book that didn't get returned, but that sounds like a red herring.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have the book because it was taken from the Harvard library. I mean, I guess we can go follow up. We're here, right? Let's just go ask her about it and see if we can just confirm the name of the book that Armitage. It was with not Armitage. It's what Jackson Elias wanted, right?
Yeah, so you can visit. So you can go to the library if you want.
Yeah, and we'll just go in and say, we're here on, we're here for a friend that we're checking to see if a book that was previously checked out has been checked back in. We're not sure exactly which the name is. It's on reserve for Jackson Elias.
It's the Widener Library. I guess it's in Harvard. So he goes, Oh, I remember this. Person, Jackson Elias, he wanted this book, but the book mysteriously disappeared before we were able to get it to him.
That's a shame. So many people have no respect for libraries and the knowledge they deny others with their careless misplacement of manuscripts. What book was it by any chance?
It was Africa's Dark Sex.
Oh, that's one of those books.
No. Gentlemen, SEGTS.
Oh, I'm sorry. With your accent, your Midwestern accent, it sounded like something quite different. You stated. Whew. All right. Well, sorry. I hope the book turns up at a later date.
Well, we do too. Sorry we can't help you.
All right, thank you. We'll leave. And well, we know that's the one. We've got it. The sex book. Africa's Dark Kama Sutra.
So what do we do now then? Are we going to get back to New York and
I think, yeah, I mean, I think
Actually,
now.
I should give you the lecture. Did I show you the lecture notes?
No.
no?
Oh, by any chance, did we pick up any Cthulhu mythos with him mentioning Cthulhu and sleeping under the ocean? No? Okay.
So I'll drop this here, but it's probably too hard to read, and I'll just stick it on that. Oops.
Where are you putting it? Up on the
Oh, it's a PDF. It won't show up there. Okay, I'll stick it on the website then. Yeah, it doesn't like if I drop a PDF onto that window. It only takes images. Oh, I think I have to put it. Let me see if. Let's see if this works. Did I put it? I might try.
You put it on the web page.
Not yet. I'm looking. I think it's 20. And then I have to publish it. Yeah, so I published it, so maybe a couple of seconds it'll show up. Their god is called Father of all Bats, and they have to do human sacrifices to appease it.
Yeah, there it is. Wow.
I'm not seeing it. Where is it at?
It's on the handout on the bottom.
Yeah, main points of Professor Anthony Cowell's lecture 1. A bat cult once existed among the Aboriginals of Australia. It was known across the continent, and the god of the cult was always known as the father of all bats. Adherents believed that by making human sacrifices to their gods, they themselves would become worthy enough that the father of all bats would appear to them. Once he was enticed to appear, he would conquer all men. Sacrifices were run through a gauntlet of worshippers who struck the victims with clubs embedded with sharp teeth of bats. The teeth were coated with a substance derived from rabid bats. The poison was quick-acting, but victims apparently went mad before they died. Leaders of the cult reputedly could take the forms of bat-winged snakes, enabling them to steal sacrifices from across the land. Its former existence is the reason that he became interested in Jack Elias' book about present-day cults. Aboriginal song mentions a place where enormous beings gathered, somewhere in the west of Australia.
Oh, there's another name here. Looking at the Erica Carlisle article, when she went to look for her brother, she brought another individual, Mrs. Victoria Post. It says, That individual indirectly emphasized Miss Carlyle's purposefulness by recounting the rigors of the voyage. So she went with her. So that would be another name to look up in New York. All right. Well, should we head back to New York and?
Yeah, because in the lecture for the rest, it's mainly the place where gods met in Australia.
Yeah.
Explorers were attacked by Aboriginals.
Yeah.
Apparently with bats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So back to
Back to New York.
New York. Okay. So basically, you traveled here, spend a day here, go back. So it's basically 2 days in Arkham, including travel.
Mm-hmm.
And then how are you going to contact Carlisle?
Well, I think there's a few things we need to do first, right? We need to maybe we need to do some research on her to find out, her current activity.
We already did that.
Yeah, you already did that.
Oh, we found out all that stuff, where she hangs out, what she's up to.
Yeah, so you know her estate,
Okay.
the Westchester County estate, which is an hour north of New York City, near the Hudson River. She goes to socialite type events. She runs her business.
Do you want to schedule an appointment or just show up?
I think we should try the dream thing. I think if we put it in her head that she's really concerned about her brother again, and she's had this dream about it, she's really thinking about it, and then we show up, she'll think it's like a sign, right? She'll think she'll put significance on it. I think that would be a great thing to do.
All right, so I want to teach Madame Doom the spell, or help her learn the spell, because she's got the highest aptitude for magic out of all of us.
So I rolled. It'll take another day before she gets to try again. So it'll take 3 days.
Can you teach it to all of us?
I mean,
it reduces the learning time from 2 weeks to a die 8. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll teach both.
Okay. So if you
roll, you roll.
So already rolled. So another day, and they can try again.
All right.
Okay.
The intelligence roll. So you have 1 day left in New York City before you can try this.
You want to reach out to the publisher that
Kensington? So yeah, you can. Who's going to do that? Are you going to just go there or call him?
We'll call him.
Been there before.
Call him.
Who's going to call?
I don't know.
So Doom's met him before.
Well, then I will give him a call. And try to get him online.
This is Kensington of Prospero Press.
Well, hi. This is Melanie Doom.
Oh, Ma'am Doom. So sad news. Jackson Elias is dead. He's having a funeral actually tomorrow. I don't know if you want to go to his funeral or not.
Oh, well, wow. I really don't know what to say. Of course, I want to go there and pay my last respects. Could we perhaps meet up with you before the funeral? Because, well, I'm curious what happened, and he was such a nice man, such a nice young man.
Such a shock. They said he was murdered in New York City. I thought of all his travels, he would be killed by some aboriginals or something, but he was murdered in his hotel room in New York City, if you can believe that.
That's no. What's this world coming to? Wow. Wow. I really don't know what to say. Would it be okay if I come over and maybe you could give me some more details and stuff?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'll be here all day. And then if you want to meet today, that's fine. Or we can meet before the funeral tomorrow.
Well, I'll try and make it today.
Yes, you know where
that
our
will be.
offices are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and I'll give you he gives you the address for a funeral just in case you can't make it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's interesting. Well, we'll head over to the offices then, I guess.
Yep.
So you go there. It's the same as before when he had the stuff for the time you went to Mexico, right?
Right.
He looks like he looks a little depressed, right?
Of course, he just lost his star author.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well, I was wondering if you could tell us anything about what.
So you see, they have decided to put Jackson Elias books in the front window. There's a book called Skulls Along the River,
Yep.
1910. Masters of the Black Arts, 1912. The Way of Terror, 1913. The Smoking Heart, 1915. Sons of Death, 1918. Witch Cults of England, 1920. Black Power, 1921. And those are the books they have in the window of the bookstore.
cool.
Yeah, I have the covers, but I didn't cut and paste them out of the PDF, unfortunately.
All right.
No
inside?
problem. Yeah, we'll go.
They are having a special where they're selling all of his books, and it will benefit the Jackson Elias. Like they're collecting some sort of fund for his funeral.
Okay. Yeah, well, maybe there's something interesting in one of those books, so I guess we will buy them.
Buy the whole collection. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
I'll buy them.
Cool. Yeah, they tell me how long it takes to read each book, and they tell me what pluses you get. So, but you won't know until you read it, I guess.
So Jonah.
Well, we go and meet the editor then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those books, I'll actually later I'll cut and paste the PDF for those books and stick it into your tome area.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, Jonah is sort of upset, but he's glad you're buying all these books for the Jackson Elias Fund.
So, Mr. Kensington, I was wondering, could you tell us anything about what Jackson had been working on prior to his unfortunate death?
Well, you know, he's always been fascinated by blood cults. So he was following up on the Carlisle expedition. He was pursuing the blood cult that massacred the expedition. And he thought that not all of the principals of the expedition were killed.
Do you have any of his notes that we could look at?
Yeah. So he calls his secretary to bring a file.
Perfect. That's great supporting documents for when we go visit Carlisle.
Yep. Bingo.
Oh, 20. Let me look. 20. Let's see. It's probably impossible to read.
Wow.
Come on. I'm trying to.
Dear Jonah, big news. There is a possibility that not all of the members of the Carlisle expedition died. I have a lead.
I read, though the authorities here deny it, the cult angle, the natives sing a different tune. Wouldn't believe the stories. Some juicy notes coming your way. This is gonna make us all rich.
So you said that you received the notes from him, which I'll show you, I think. And then he also got a wire from Hong Kong asking for advance, which was sent immediately. And then he didn't hear from him until the middle of last month, December 16th, when he wired from London. And the telegram was very excited. He sounded very excited and a little bit crazy sounding. He said he'd been to China, to Africa, and to London for a few days, where he dug up a lot of stuff. He said he saw unbelievable things and mentioned a plan or conspiracy of monstrous worldwide proportions. He said there was a timetable and that he needed to find the missing pieces, but wouldn't or couldn't explain more. And then the wire ended, saying he would soon be in New York and he'll explain everything. He took passage on the freighter Val Europe, and then he arrived in New York a few days later. Then he left these notes with Kensington, which I'll probably have to drop in the other place because it's.
So what jumps out at me that's really interesting is he mentions a conspiracy of worldwide proportions, and we are now uncovering like cults all over the world that are very active in regions, but they're like the powerhouse cults, it seems like, in very specific regions.
Yep.
So I wonder if these cults are all like doing something together.
That's what the notes will hopefully cast light on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use a lot of this when we meet with Ms. Carlisle regarding her brother.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like the
I think these are just the Nairobi notes. Let me see if there's.
So sadly for poor Jackson, he must have like somehow done something here that identified himself to the Bloody Tongue cult that was in the Juju house, and brought himself to their attention, and they, saw that he was meddling and a threat.
Well, if it's a worldwide cult, it's possible that they found him out wherever he was, in either in China or London or anything, that they just have an agent here.
Maybe they came here specifically to kill him.
So I put into the handouts his notes. They're basically summaries of the notes. They're paper clipped together. They're in handwriting.
Just refresh the page. Oh, Nairobi notes.
Did they show up?
Yeah. Nairobi notes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then there's, let me put the rest. There's other notes. There's London notes. And
God of the black wind, whose home
Yeah.
is in the mountaintop.
Well, that description is similar to
The sandbat.
the sandbats. Yeah.
So maybe this is the same cult all over the world. It just has different names and different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's why I would think that they just had an agent here in New York and
'Cause it says the
probably
cult-
everywhere.
Yeah, because it says the cult god is not of Africa. But that could be Egyptian, I guess.
this one's impossible to read.
Yeah, here's creatures with great wings are said to come down from the mountain of the black winds to carry off people, which sounds like a sandbat.
Yeah. Carlyle's itinerary must be examined carefully. He believes that the reason which prompted Carlyle's Kenyan side trip is on the Nile. So whatever they found in Cairo, when they went to Cairo, told them they needed to go next to Africa.
No Caucasians found among the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this picture that's too impossible to read. So I think I may have to see if I can link it there. And
Nails Nelson in Nairobi. That's
Yeah.
a name we need to.
Oh, they have seen someone. Jack Brady, who was supposed to be dead.
Jack Brady. He was part of the expedition.
Yeah, he was just a friend of not a scientist or anything.
Rest of the expedition with Jack Brady.
so
Nelson will have a lead on Brady then, huh? Okay.
So I published one more page, which was the last one that was there. And the other pages were very neatly handwritten notes. And this last one is to Jonah very disturbing because the handwriting was very untypical of Elias's handwriting. And it's too small to read, so I linked it to a bigger version that I guess is also impossible to read.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I wonder if I can find a better version of that somewhere.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, that is the biggest version. Oh my god.
Oops.
think it says many something, many forms, but all the same. And something.
What are we looking at? I can't see it.
Oh, it's a handwritten one.
You put it back on. It's on the page.
Yeah, it's on the last thing.
Many names, many forms, but all the same, and blah blah blah. Too big, too ghastly. Those dreams like Carlyle.
Yeah, and then it says
That's psychoanalysis.
all of them something. They'll open the gate, Lily, or something like that.
All of them something. They'll open the gate. Lily? I don't know what that. So the power and the is real.
I think
The power
danger is real,
and the
right?
danger is real. They something.
Beginning, yeah. Something coming for us. Something ocean portal or ocean protect. But which is cool because they don't give me what it's translated as.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you a you interpret what you interpret. So, all right, huh? Yeah, this is a good find. This definitely gives us ammunition to use with Carlisle.
Oh wait, I have something. Wait. These dreams like Carlyle. Check that psychologist. All of them survived. They will open the gates. Why? To whom? To what? Therefore, the power and the danger are real. They, blank line follows. Many threads beginning. The books are in Carlyle's safe.
Ah,
Coming for us, will this dream protect? Coming for me, will this dream protect? It sounds like he went mad, maybe. Oh no. Gutters must tell and make readers believers. Should I scream for them? Let us scream together.
Crazy. So that's actually really books in the Carlisle safe.
yeah.
So I think that when we craft this dream for Erica Carlisle, here's what we need to have happen in the dream, right? She has to dream about her brother. She has to dream that her brother is still alive. She has to dream about the books in the safe and feel that the books are a key that will help with the investigation to find him, right? To help to reunite them. And then she has to dream that there are people that will also help her find him. That will be
Just the dream of us helping her.
yes.
So yeah. So then we take for me to try to teach you guys the spell.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be one more day. Okay.
Hopefully, Madam Doom, because she's got the highest power, I think.
Okay, roll your int again to see if you learn the spell.
Can you guys spend
So
loot?
that's success.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
rolls it all? All of us?
But you need a hard success, so
Yeah, it's a hard success.
cool. So you have it.
Where's my sheet? I think I got it. I just need to verify my sheet because I intelligence. Can I spend 2 points of luck?
Yes, you can.
I will do that.
Okay, so you all three have it.
Should we put it on our character sheet? What do we call it?
It's called Send Dream, which is really boring, but that's
Okay.
fine. I mean, I didn't have time to come up with some fancy.
Nose, Send Dream. Okay.
We can come up with a fancier name later, I guess.
Dreamweaver.
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 Let's call it Dreamweaver.
But I'm going to stick the stats of the spell onto the website anyway, so
Okay.
might as well just call it Send Dream because that's what they call it. But it's sort of boring. You could call it Dreamweaver, but we have to know that's the spell. So, Doom.
Yes.
Gonna do the spell, and it's at night, right? You have to make sure she's asleep somehow. Where are you guys gonna camp out? I think you have to drive near her place.
We should just get a hotel close to her house, right?
Well, she's in a state that's like covers a couple of acres, right?
So, but nearby there's got to be some kind of a.
Well, how close do we have to be to her to get the dream to work?
Well, so it states some weird units, and you think it's in
Cubits or something.
yeah, it's some weird units. So you know it's miles.
Okay, so I mean, we can drive up to Westchester and park along her estate somewhere on a country road and do it there. Camp out if we have to.
Okay, so are you gonna try to hide the car or just park?
I mean, how long does the spell take? Is it something that can you do real quick?
It's about 10 minutes to do
Oh,
this.
that's not bad.
So we just gotta wait till she's asleep, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a night owl, or if she's a night owl, we're screwed.
Yeah, you guys have to decide when you want to do this.
Yeah, but when are people asleep, right? I'd say at like 3:30 in the morning is the time when like everyone's asleep. Unless for some reason you're staying up all night, you have a reason to stay up all night. 3:30 you're asleep. Even if you're a partier.
What's your Donald Trump?
Yeah, no, I don't believe that shit at all.
Okay, so you're gonna pick like 3:30?
That sounds good.
Are you gonna just park the car there, or are you gonna hide the car somewhere?
I think we want to try and hide it. We don't want to be just out in the middle of the street where anyone can disturb us.
Yeah, try to be, get a little privacy, hide it.
Okay, so who has the best stealth? Because I'm thinking you guys will have said, let's hide the car, and then whoever has the best stealth will use that person's idea to somehow hide the car behind some trees or whatever, right?
My stealth
is not great.
My stealth is 60.
You're just better than me.
I have the basic.
Okay, I made 31. So
Almost hard.
Almost one point of luck. But do I need a hard success?
It depends on when they.
Okay, one point of luck. I'll spend the 1 point of luck.
Okay, you get a hard success? Okay.
Yeah.
So you park off to the side somewhere, maybe make sure it's behind some trees or a billboard or something. So what you notice is, let's say you guys drive up at 3 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So, or do you want to go there earlier to scope out the place? So it depends on what you want to do.
I think we should go a little earlier to scope out the place.
So how much earlier?
Yeah. In a couple hours. We just want to make sure we've got a good spot.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
show up around 1.
And then drive by the front and see what's going on.
Yeah, make sure the lights are on or off, or
So you see it's a big mansion, like a 3-story mansion.
yes.
They have a well-groomed garden and everything, and they have like a fence, right, that goes, but not like a security fence, but like one of those fancy stone fences that you need to pull yourself over, like maybe it's 6 feet high, and then to get into the driveway you have to get through the metal gate, right?
Yeah.
And you notice that the lights there's some lights, but not all the lights are on, and she does look like she has security.
All right. Well, we don't want to mess with security.
So like there's people that check the grounds and stuff like that. So,
I mean, we don't have to get that close if we can be miles away, right?
Yeah, I'm just telling you what it looks like, so you have an idea. It's not like it's just open and you can just. It's not like a golf course you can just get onto, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we just find a spot to park the car and keep it out of sight and do the ceremony.
Okay. So you drive up, you park behind some place, and actually, like maybe within half an hour of you guys parking, 15 minutes, half an hour, like a car comes out and just drives by where you guys are.
Okay.
And then they circle around and then they came back in. And
All right.
it looks like they didn't see you guys, but
They're
it seems like they're cognizant of cars going by.
They're just checking the rounds.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and then the spell. So you have to put all the stuff in the bowl, and then you have to set it alight. It creates a green smoke, which is hilarious.
You inhale, you breathe deep. You breathe deep, hold it deep in your lungs before exhaling.
You have to do a POW against her POW, and I have to look up her stats. So why don't you roll your POW first?
Okay.
Hopefully it's huge. Huge!
And 35, that is a hard success.
Awesome. Madam Doom has tremendous pow, huge pow.
Oh, she got a regular success.
She got a regular?
Yes.
Yeah, she got a regular success.
Good
She
job.
missed by 5%.
Nice.
Hard. Okay, so your dream is, I assume, what you were talking about, you guys showing up and, well, tell me what the dream is.
Well, her brother is still alive, that the others of the expedition are still alive, that there are people looking for them. That will be us then. That he's in danger, so yeah, there has to be a sense of danger about her brother's life.
I mean, I'm sure we rehearsed it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the books in the safe. The books in the safe are a key that will help unlock the location of her brother that the people searching will need.
Yeah, that as well. Maybe also if she has access to that, if there's some way to get to the file of the psychologist. Because if he was treating Carlisle for dreams, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah,
That
with
he
her
would take a
influence,
that maybe he went on the expedition because he had weird dreams.
could be, huh?
And then he would have sought out a psychoanalyst for that because they work with dreams.
Yeah.
And that's how it all, maybe that's how it all started. So that has to be in there too.
Okay, good idea.
And to keep it light, put a clown on a tricycle with eyes.
Ends
A clown with a red balloon saying, "You'll float with us."
Yeah, the dream ends with a giant explosion of confetti.
Okay, so you lose 5 magic points temporarily, but you get those back anyway. But the important thing is you lose 1 sand point when you throw the spell.
Oh, I hate you.
It's not terrible though. That's worth it. Believe me, spells are far worse than that usually.
Okay.
That's a bargain price, 1 sanity. It's like that spell is on sale.
Okay.
And you do this and you really feel like it worked because you were in her dreams and you did this. So it's not like you do the sending, you're not sure if she took it. And it's also part of that POW thing where you actually had break through her mental resistance. So she was really asleep.
Perfect.
Good job, Madam Doom.
Yeah, thanks.
So we go find a place to lay low for a few hours, catch some shut eye, and then go show up at her house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but This is some pretty scary stuff, that last note.
What's
If
that?
if you look at the way it was written,
And it's in whose
so
handwriting? Did you know that? Who's it signed by? Can we tell?
it was another note by Elias, right?
Yeah.
So it's so frantic and
Like a crazy person.
yeah, almost, but also like he's really, really scared. Because at one point he said no quitters, so he had to go on with it.
So yeah, who wrote it? That's the question, right?
Well, it's Elias's handwriting.
Oh, we do know that? We know it is his
Yeah.
handwriting? Oh, okay. Huh.
It's one of the last. It's probably the last thing he wrote.
So here's a question. Could the cult have used the bowl to send Elias a terrifying dream that caused him to like lose his sanity and go kind of like crazy and write all these notes?
But what if he wasn't insane? What if he was just fun? Oh no!
But
all
if
these.
they use the same spell we just did to completely terrorize him, you know, he would wake up and want to sketch his dream, right? He'd want to write notes on his dream, and he'd be just completely freaked out if he just had a night of terror. Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, but
But that ball was in New York, and he writes, "Will the ocean protect?"
Oh, yeah, we don't know where or when he was when he wrote this note, right?
No, but it look if you read everything, like he has to convince the readers, has to turn them into believers, because there's all these, probably the way I see it, there's all these little cults, but they have with many names, but they all serve the same goal. Everyone from the expedition survived, and they are going to open some kind of gate.
So he wrote this, like he wrote this when he was concluding his investigation.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me, that he had all the information. He had been in London, Nairobi, China, and everywhere he comes, he finds the same thing. There's a cult working towards his goal. They all have different names, but they're doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
And it has a few leads about the books and the psychoanalyst's file.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay. We just don't know where exactly he was when he wrote it. But yeah, I think you're right. It leads more to the presumption that this was the conclusion of his investigation, and it freaked him out that what he uncovered, that how big a deal it was, how far-reaching and the implications.
That would be why he sent the telegram for us, and why he had the references to the several cults, to the sandbed.
Yeah.
And so
Okay, so yeah, we'll get all of our stuff together and then dress up nicely to present ourselves to a member of the upper class. We don't want to look like hobos. We're all unshaven.
Hey, Madame Doom never looks like that.
Well, let me figure out when Jackson's funeral is, though.
When we've been told that by
yeah. So the funeral actually is 9 in the morning, though.
Oh,
so
great! Wow.
Today?
That's the first thing to do then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we should go there first then.
Okay.
All right. Well, it fits us getting all dressed up, right?
Yeah, you have to be all dressed up anyway.
Yeah.
A twofer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you go to a funeral. They have the funeral. It's a closed casket funeral.
I wonder why.
And yeah, they had Jonah. He's like,
I'm trying to be a real jerk. I gotta see him one last time, man. Go. He's like a brother to me. I just gotta give him something. Come on, let me put something in the coffin. I won't do that. I won't do that at all. I'll behave myself. I'm sorry.
Pour a drink for my homie.
Pretty much.
why don't you guys do a spot hidden?
Okay. That looks like a very hard success.
Oh,
And nope.
Oh, mistake. Okay, yeah, I got a success.
okay. So the hard success, you see, like at a distance, there's a couple of people hanging out in the cemetery.
Hmm?
And the reason they stick out a little is they're black. And they're just sort of hanging out like a couple hundred yards from you, or from the funeral, and they're sort of watching.
Okay, so when you say they're black, do they look like they are Americans, or do they look like they have facial tattoos or whatever?
No, they look like Americans, but
I
from
assume
the
you point them
distance.
out. You guys point them out.
I would if I see them.
Are they dressed for a funeral? Are they wearing nice clothes? Or are they wearing?
No, they're not. They look like they're wearing street clothes, and they're just they're watching the funeral.
But how many of them?
It's just two of them.
Are they carrying anything like shovels or like that, or?
You're not sure. They're like 200-300 yards away, right?
Well, that's not okay. So they're not. I'm wondering if like my first thought was, well, maybe they're grave diggers that work for the cemetery and they're waiting for the funeral to be over.
They could be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But
you don't see any shovels.
there's a little bit in the back of my mind saying,
Well, we should check it out. But is there anything else? Anybody else that sticks out?
They're the only people that sort of sticks out of the ordinary. There are a couple of people that are Jackson's friends there at the funeral, as you are. So it's a small gathering, like maybe plus you guys, maybe another 5 or 7 other people.
Should we just hang back and watch them and see what they do?
The watchers, or
Yeah, watch the watchers.
yeah.
do they notice us watching, or are they just kind of watching the group?
They're watching you, watching them, watching you.
So shouldn't one of us circle around?
To do what?
Well, probably after the funeral, we would approach them or either follow them, and I would like to try and get an advance on them.
Yeah, well, following them would probably be better. Otherwise, you maybe get yourself into a conflict.
Yeah, but they may get away.
Yeah, so what would be the best way to follow them? If they go by car, just follow them by car? Then we can see where they go.
Try to lose myself around the building and come back around and see if I can.
Oh, okay. Do a stealth then.
I am the least stealthy of private detective ever.
Well, I can do it then. I've got a pretty good stealth.
Oop, dropped my die.
I mean, I'm actually pretty good at this.
You're pretty good at this?
Yeah.
All right, you do it.
Because not only do I have stealth, but one of my, what do you call it, the perks is
Oh, you get a
shadow. I have shadow.
Oh, you get a bonus die.
Get a bonus die. Yeah.
Oh man, a sneaky archaeologist. Jeez.
Hey, you got to be sneaky, man. You got to sneak up on those artifacts.
Oh,
They're jumpy.
So Timmy was about to sneak off, and his shoe squeaks a little, and you hold it back and no, I'll do it.
I got it.
I got.
Hey guys, next time help me remember that I only need half the time to learn a new spell.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good to know. Okay, I rolled a 10, which is
that's really good.
that's without the rolling the bonus die.
So you might as well roll the bonus die. You might roll as
Right, roll better. Okay.
You can't get
No, I rolled
better.
a
Yeah, it'll be a double aught, so you can't make
Yeah.
it better.
Yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, I made an extreme.
Yeah, make sure you check that for a skill possible advance. So you know they're standing there, and you sneak up behind them, right? And they're like looking, and they're you have the language thing, right?
Do not. I speak Arabic and my own language.
But I thought you took the quick language or language.
No, that's not me. I
Oh.
don't have language.
Yeah, so they're speaking to each other in non-English.
Can I tell like what it sounds like? Is it, like it sounds African dialect? Or?
Yeah, it's sort of some maybe African dialect or something. You're not.
All right, I'll just hang back and kind of see what their demeanor is. Are they just in just normal conversation and laughing loudly at each other's jokes?
Not that loud. They're trying to be inconspicuous.
Oh, okay.
And then one of them's like writing something in a little notepad.
All right. So they're probably paying attention to like who comes to his funeral, since they want to know who he may have told information to.
So that's what you see. I don't know if you want to still hang out there or.
I think we want to try to follow him.
Okay, you're good at that, so you could do that.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Did you tell the others you might not come back?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point, was to go to follow him. So.
Okay. So at the other two characters at the funeral, why don't you do a listen roll?
I didn't.
Okay. So Timmy, you hear some noise coming from the coffin, like scratching or something.
Okay, I'm kind of saying on the down low, so only that Madam Doom can hear me. Her friend is not resting well.
Oh no, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Does it look like anybody else can hear it?
Oh yeah. So you see Jonas's eyes widen, like. Oh, might as well you two make sand checks while we're at this.
Oh, we make sand checks?
Yes.
And I fail.
Getting immunity.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We'll be right back.
Okay. So you fail. Take a.
Me too.
Oh, hey, both of you take die 6 sand loss for a resurrected friend.
Oh, that's not good. That's
3.
That's 5 points.
5. Oh, make an idea roll.
Actually, I failed it.
Oh, you suppressed it. So yeah, so you're like going you're not sure.
I'm like, goddamn rats.
We have to do the involuntary action first.
Yeah.
Because we just failed.
Yeah, that's true. You could
so
do it.
Probably one of us shouts out, "Oh no, he's still alive!"
So is that what Doom's? Oh, he's still alive. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll let you do that. And then Dave thinks, no, it must be rats because you saw his body where his intestines were pulled out, right? There's no way he's still alive. And Jonah goes, I hear something.
Well, but we know about the spell.
Well, the mourners don't.
Oh, the mourners, no.
Yeah, plus if you fail a sand roll, you do it involuntarily, so you can't choose not to react.
I just was like, goddamn rats. Why don't let anyone lie in peace?
And then you see more people are more sort of like you see this weird look on their faces. And then Jonah like knocks on the coffin, and then you hear a knock coming from the inside of the coffin.
All right. Well, that's obviously not rats. So
Timmy, do you have a weapon?
I got my gun.
You hear him say, Elias? And then you just hear a moan coming from the inside of the coffin.
Yeah, probably.
I'm drawing my gun because even though I'm kind of, I don't know if my character would make 2 and 2, because he had the sigil on his head, on his forehead. He was eviscerated. The zombies we saw in the temple were the same way.
Mhm.
Would I be able to put that together?
The spell that I read, you would know that because I was talking about the spell that I was reading about, and it was Create Servant.
All right.
And
Well,
you had to do that.
And we already talked about and hypothesized that the reason they were carving that symbol in his forehead was to try to make him into a zombie.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna shout. The editor guy is right next to the coffin, right?
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on, so he's like telling people we need to open it up.
I'm gonna shout to him to get back from the coffin.
He goes, well, we need a crowbar. Let's get a crowbar. We got to open it back up. He's still alive.
I don't think that's the greatest idea, but just to be safe, just get away from the coffin right now. And we'll go find a crowbar, but they need to back away. And they're motioning him.
So some of the mourners have left to get the crowbar. Like there's like 7 other people here, right? So they're like concerned.
Okay. So we're inside a church, right? Or is this outside?
This is outside. This is when they're going to.
All right.
They're out in the cemetery. They had the services out there, and they're gonna lower the coffin. But
is there like a shovel? Anyone like a dirt pile with a shovel sticking out?
Oh yeah, there's that dirt pile, but they usually cover it with some blanket or something. But
yeah, but is there like any like gardening tools they would use, like shovels, spades?
Yeah, do a luck roll. A luck roll.
Nope.
They're really tidy here. Guess they don't like having shovels and picks lying around.
How's the coffin secured? Is it like?
It's fairly secure. I think you need to pry it open.
There isn't kind of a latch type mechanism that keeps it shut, or?
I assume they just nail it shut or something. I'm not sure how they do it, but I assume.
Yeah, because there's different kinds of coffins, and I don't know what they did back then. Because these days they're vacuum sealed, they're pressure sealed.
Yeah, I think he's not that wealthy, so it's probably just a simple coffin. It's nailed shut somehow.
Is there anything on me that could be used?
But Jackson will be back with a crowbar soon. You could step over and then just fire into the coffin.
That wouldn't look that great with people.
I'm just going to perform the cremation right here. Save it.
Yeah, it would look bad, huh?
I turned to Madam Do. What do we do? I don't know.
I think there's only one thing that we can do, and that's wait until they open it and then shoot him.
If the bullets will do anything, I don't remember the bullets doing much to the zombies in the basement.
If they see him come out like this, they will probably repress it anyway. So, but if you shoot him now before they've seen it, then
that's true.
It's going to be bad.
They'll think I've murdered him.
So Jackson comes back with a pry bar and he cracks it open, and then Elias comes out, but you notice he has more. It's like some undertaker has taken some work, like his intestines are back in, but they put him in a suit. They put some makeup over the symbol that's carved over his forehead, but he still looks very much dead, except for he's moving. And Jones goes, "Oh, are you all right, Jackson? We thought you were dead."
Get away from him! I'm calling.
Yeah.
Are the black guys doing anything?
Yeah, so let's go back to. I forgot your name. Oh, Nate. Yeah.
Nate, yeah.
So Nate, you see there's some commotion over at the gravesite, and the two people you're following are looking at each other, and one of them sort of laughs a little.
Are they staying put?
Yeah, they're standing there, but they're like sort of smirking a little. But yeah, there's some commotion going on like 200 yards away where the funeral was going on. And you saw like Jackson run away and then come back with a crowbar and then roll a spot hidden.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. 34, and then I got 34, so I made it by.
Yeah, you see Timmy had pulled out his gun, but he's holding it by his side.
Who has?
The other Dave's character.
Oh, okay.
Timmy.
So something's going on over there.
He pulled out his gun, but he's holding it by his side to be inconspicuous.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna stay hidden and watch these guys and be prepared to act. I'm gonna slowly draw my sword cane.
Oh, okay.
By the way, have I healed anything like since several days have gone by?
Oh yeah, so it's been, according to my thing, 3 days have gone by, so it's 3 hit points. Oh wait, you took a major wound though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're screwed. Everybody else gets 3 points back.
And I get nothing?
Yeah, you get nothing.
Well, I don't.
So you have to wait for a week, and then you have to roll a con roll, I think, to see if you get rid of the major wound.
Okay, then I definitely don't want to be getting into a fight.
So yeah, so Doom and Timmy, you get 3 hit points back.
Cool.
I think maybe I'll draw my pistol instead of my sword cane.
Okay.
I don't want to get into another dodge fest. I didn't come out too well on that last one.
Okay, so Jonas is like trying to help Elias out of the casket, and Jonas then Elias is going to try to strangle Jonas, and misses.
I'm gonna push Jonah out of the way
Okay.
and try to plug the zombie.
Okay. You want to fire 3 times? So you're in point blank. So you get a bonus die, but if you fire 3 times, it gets rid of the bonus die. So you could roll straight 3 times if you want for 3 shots from your gun, right?
I'll go straight 3 shots. So.
Okay. So it's straight for each one.
Miss. Hit. Ooh. So I got a miss, a hit, and then I got a hard success.
Okay.
I got 2, 1 regular and 1 hard.
So roll your damage for the. So it's only extreme that does more extra damage. For,
right.
So roll your damage.
Jeez, that's a whopping 11 points.
Okay, so you're a private eye. You've shot people before. You shoot Elias, and basically it hits him. You do hit him, but it just staggers him a little, and you don't see any blood come out. And a normal person, they would be mostly dead, but he seems a little bit hurt, but very much not affected by the bullets into his chest that you pumped into him.
All right.
This isn't going to traumatize you in any way. Blowing your friend away.
The other people.
Twice.
The other people are screaming. Some are running away right now.
Yeah, how are you going to explain this one?
Yeah.
He was really alive in the coffin. And then he
Doom, what are you going to do? Madam Doom.
Yeah, I'm not very good at shooting, so
I mean, she learned that spell, right? Does that spell have any like reverse? Can you undo?
No, there's a different.
Yeah, if it's a
spell for
zombie, we
the-
need a white chicken.
Mm.
Yeah, which the other character has. Michelle's character has a book, so you guys have to borrow that one day.
Yeah,
They have the
no,
empathy on the
I'm not. I will try and keep other people out of the way.
Yeah, so you notice like half the people run away. Some people are just standing there, and then you notice one person like stare in horror at Timmy, and it looks like he's going to jump Timmy.
Oh, great.
So you see
Could
that.
yeah, can I stop that guy?
Yeah. So why don't you go against that person's maneuver?
With Brawl?
Yeah.
That is a success.
Oh wow. So are you tripping them or just grabbing them? You're big. You could grab them, hug them.
Yeah, I'll grab them.
You're gonna hug them to you. So the person was going to try to grab Timmy, and as they went by you, you actually grab the person and you're hugging them to them and go, "Let me go! He's killing Jackson."
No, he's already dead.
Okay, so Jackson's going to. He's going to go after Jonah again. And he missed. Oh, but he missed. What do you want to do, Timmy?
Is he in the coffin still, or is he out of the coffin?
He's out of the coffin, but he's just on the edge of the grave, right? He climbed out of the coffin and tried to strangle Jonah, but missed.
Only had some hooch. Maybe like a Molotov or something. I don't have anything like that. I got my matches. Nothing nearby can be used as a bludgeoning weapon. There's no. We already.
Yeah, we rolled for that, so
Yeah,
they were
rolled
pretty
for that.
clean.
All right, I'm gonna try to grapple with the zombie and get him in a hold where he can't hurt anybody.
Okay, so you want to do maneuver and grapple? Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be really bad because I'm really bad at.
Yeah, he's gonna try to scratch you.
Oh Jesus! My dice are really not liking me. This is like the third time I rolled a 99.
Yeah, he's scratching you back, and he got a hard success. So he does. Oh wow, 3 points.
You jerk! What are you scratching me for?
I'm your friend.
We used to be friends, man. Save you, pal. That's it. Friendship over. I'm going to shoot you next time.
So it's a Doom. What are you gonna do?
Well, just hold back.
Hold the guy. Okay, and then oh, why am I so bad? Dave, your character, you see those guys. You see what's going on over 200 yards away.
Yeah.
And you see the two guys sort of like still chuckling, like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go get involved in that fight. I'm not in a good condition for it. And I guess I just want to still find out where these guys are coming from.
Okay.
Unless they do something aggressive. Can I tell if they're armed in any way?
Do a spot hidden.
0-5. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Remember those machetes?
Mhm.
They have them hidden on
Oh, jeez.
those pranga machete things. Yeah, they have them, but it's hidden in their clothing.
Dang.
Okay, back to Timmy.
Come on, Timmy. Come on, Timmy. Do it. Put him down.
Can I get my gun under his head so I can blow his brains out? Is there like a called shot in this thing?
There's not. Well, the call shot is you aim and then there's no real call shot. But
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to shoot for the head.
yeah. You're gonna do 3 shots or 1
I'll
shot?
do 3 shots. That'll empty my gun.
Okay.
Reload. First one. That's a success. Second one is a success. Third one is so I hit him 3 times.
Okay. So he scratched you, and then you put the gun underneath his throat, and you fired 3 times, and those bullets went through his head, and like parts of his back of his head came out. But it did some damage, but he's still active, and he's gonna scratch you.
Dang it. These are terrible zombies.
You want to dodge or fight back? So
I'll
fight
make
back.
the dodge.
Dodge, okay.
Get away from me!
He really likes you.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, I need expensive luck. Shoot. I need to find some luck because I didn't roll very
Okay, so you're
well.
regular. So he would have bit you, except for you're able to, with some luck, like maybe you stumbled a little and he missed. Like he maybe hit the collar of your coat instead.
All right, so I just shot him 3 times in the head. Didn't do anything to him except make a hole. He was still working. He's still being a zombie.
You could pistol whip him. It's a die 8 if you pistol whip him.
I don't think it's going to do anything to him. Because that's obviously damage that would normally kill somebody. If he was a normal human being, he'd be dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I can do that much damage to him.
He's going to give up at some point.
All right, yeah, I guess my next action when I come around, I'll use my gun to pistol whip him with.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now that is
It's your
hand-to-hand combat, which I suck at. Yeah, I miss.
Yeah, he bit you again.
God damn it. Jackson, come on, man.
You take 1 point. Now Jonas is totally horrified because Elias is still alive, and obviously part of the back of his head's blown out. And now the person that was going to attack Timmy is like standing there, like going, like, "Huh?" So, Madam Doom, you don't have to restrain the guy anymore. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna whack Elias with my handbag.
Okay, you get a bonus die. It's 2 on 1.
Oh, that's good because I need it. I miss.
Yeah, it fought back but missed.
Phew.
Back to the top. Timmy.
Yeah, I'm gonna pistol whip him again.
Okay.
Come on, man, work with me. Come on, lay down.
He is working with you. He's eating you and everything.
God damn it! All right, this punching crap is for the birds. I can't hit him.
You missed?
I missed again.
Oh, he's gonna chew on you for 3 more points.
God dang it! Ow! Knock it off.
Dude.
I hit.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't beat you, so you do damage.
Yeah, cool. That's 3 damage.
Is this like a purse or what?
Yeah.
Is it like a heavy purse? So
Yeah,
okay.
it's pretty heavy.
So you see that Doom has like the heavy purse and whacks the zombie, and actually you hear like this crunching noise as it like breaks some ribs and stuff. So you hear that. Okay, so the Jackson's gonna attack Timmy again. You gotta fight back or dodge.
Dodging. Excuse me. I succeeded in my dodge.
Oh, so you would have been hit, but your dodge worked and you missed. So it's your turn.
All right, one last time. Let's see if I can beat something to death. Holy shit! I actually got an extreme success.
Okay, so extreme successes with a Kosh is max damage. So you automatically do 8 points of damage.
I have a damage bonus of D4.
So that's max too. So it's 12 points. So how do you totally crush and kill this zombie that you've been struggling with?
I bring the butt of my handgun down upon his temple, and because he has so much structural damage already, it just crunches in and caves in and leaves a mushy stump, and he just keels over.
So this headless body just falls.
His body just kind of like staggers to his knees and then drops.
Yeah. So you what you learn from this is it seems like the bullets, since they're just like 38 bullets, they just had a small entry hole. There is an exit hole, but because the organs aren't useful anymore, it didn't do that much to it. But when you did this blunt trauma to it, it seemed like it was very effective.
I'm all Jackson, you're a jerk. I'm glad you're dead.
Well, he's a dead jerk now.
Double dead.
So Nate, you see the two guys when the zombie goes down, they look sort of a little depressed.
Sure they do. Okay, what do they do? Let me know if they draw their weapons. I just want to see if they now are going to draw.
They see that one of them shakes their head, and the other one like reaches his pocket, pulls out some money, and gives the other one some money.
All right.
Bastards.
And they're still watching, and then so I don't know. So everybody's sort of freaked out, and most of the people have left. Then there's the guy that Madam Doom grabbed, and he's like staring at it, and then he goes over and he picks up Jackson's feet and tries to put him back into the coffin.
Just shove him back in there, shut the door, and then do the little sign of the cross. And all right, may he rest in peace.
I help him lift the body up, and I put Jackson back in the coffin. Like, all right, buddy.
And then they close the lid. Oh, you know what? I forgot there is the crowbar. He brought the crowbar. There's a crowbar. So they nail it back shut, and the guy's just shaking his head and just sort of like doesn't look at Timmy and just sort of walks away.
Yeah, I feel the same way, pal. All right. So, Jonah's still around, right?
He's shaking. Yeah. He goes, oh, I think he was dead, but not dead.
Like, he was undead.
Undead. Oh my God.
And now he's re-dead.
Yeah, well, that must be one of those dangerous cults Elias was looking into, Jonah.
Oh. I think I have to drink.
Yeah, me too.
That sounds good. Yeah, you need a doctor more like.
I need both. I need medicinal booze and I need a doctor. And I need more booze. It's not medicinal.
He goes, I know a speakeasy on 13th Avenue. Let's go there. Drinks on me. We were going to have drinks anyway for his wake, but yeah, let's get drunk.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
Sure, that's good for bleeding injuries. I'm bandaging myself up with a little, what I can cover with cloth.
So you guys leave, and then as you guys get in a car to go where the speakeasy is, Nate, you see that these guys are following your friends. Like they're following at a distance.
Mhm.
And when they get in a car to drive away, these guys get in a car to drive away to follow them.
Can I pop their car tire with my sword?
Oh, as they drive away? Yeah, roll your sword just
Sword? Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, baby. 47 made it. Straight
Okay,
success.
so just as it pulls up, you run alongside, and then you just sort of stick their tire,
Yeah.
and you hear it go pop, and it's
All right.
yeah. So what do you do after that?
I'll go get another car and
Okay, so
Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
well, you can call a cab or something. But
Yeah.
Follow that car.
Well, but these
I'll
guys
call-
weren't wearing seatbelts or anything, so they probably hit a tree and get smacked through the windshield or
no, they're
anything.
just pulling out, so they're only going less than 5 miles per hour when he got the tire, right?
And then I want to continue to follow them because they're not going to be able to follow my friends now, but I want to see where they go.
Oh, okay, that's good. So yeah, so they get out, they see the flat tire. They go, oh, so they put, if there's a spare, they put the spare on,
Mhm.
and then they drive. So that's when you follow them, right?
Correct.
You see them drive towards Harlem.
Okay, let's follow them and see where they go.
Okay, so
See if
they
they're going
go.
to Juju 2.
Yes, there is.
The
It's,
rejuvenating.
they go to. Oh, I might as well just put it on the map.
Yeah.
Do I have the full size map? Oh, so let me put. I'll just drop this on here first. So now this map is, oh, it's impossible to see. But in the top, there's 2 dots.
Mhm.
The black dot is Juju House, and the one above is called Fat Mabel's, and that's like a speakeasy. So they head towards that.
Okay. Once I know where they go, then I'll leave. I'll withdraw and go meet up with my friends.
Okay. And then you come back to meet up with these guys.
That maybe. Maybe that's alternate hideout for the Colts.
What was its name?
Fat Mabel's.
Mabel. Okay.
Yeah, because the Juju House is a little bit destroyed right now.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Gotta step away for a second. Right back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we should finish up here for today.
Yeah, we could.
You want to finish
Maybe
it
the
then?
Carlisle dream is next time, or the Carlisle visit
Because
next time.
talking to Carlisle is more, yeah, it's more information and stuff too.
Well, that way we don't get too ahead of everybody else when they come back.
Yeah, because there's only half hour left, so we could.
Yeah.
This is a good breaking point.
All right.
I mean, it is a year-long campaign, so it's not like pacing ourselves is going to do anything more than just delay.
Well, you know, you now see there's all these clues going to different countries. It's
Yeah.
different cities. So
Yeah.
So the only thing I need to know is, well, it doesn't matter. I already ran this before, but usually it's good to have a heads up which city you want to go to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's mainly that I'm starting to fall asleep.
Oh wow, okay.
So
What time is it there?
1:30 a.m.
Wow. Is this the only time you guys can play? Like, have you guys considered other times that might be more neutral to people in Europe?
Well, when I run a game, because there's someone from Sweden that likes to play as well, and we start an hour earlier, so we start at 9 p.m. then.
Okay.
But that's yeah. Usually these are the times we can play. Most of the time it's not a problem, but once I had a long day today, so yeah, then I feel it a bit earlier.
Okay.
Well, thanks for running and playing.
Sure. And
Yeah.
then we have a big
Next time.
house.
We have a big what?
Yeah, and
Full house. We have like 6 players. So
Yeah,
Oh, for next time, you mean?
yeah.
nice.
next time we still only have. It's still just going to be New York, right?
Well, I don't know. I think we're going to probably go somewhere because I can't think of a whole lot of.
Because once you get stuff from Carlisle, I think that's almost, well, there's like, that is the major info dump, and then there's a little bit.
I think we're either going to be going
Should-
to Cairo or to Hong Kong because that was the two.
Should we say we start somewhere civilized?
Well,
Like London?
I think a lot of it's going to have to do with what we learn, right? But
Yeah.
my hunch is that you normally would want to like follow the expedition unless we have a reason to know to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because we kind of need to learn what
The
they learned.
expedition started in London, right?
Yeah.
So
and then
yeah,
went
okay.
to Cairo and then went to Africa where they.
Yeah, Penhew is in London. The Penhew Foundation is in London.
But somehow China figures into this too, Shanghai. So maybe we'll find out where they went in Shanghai if they went there. Or Hong Kong or wherever it was. I don't remember. Somewhere in China.
Well, then I guess you can prepare London.
Yeah. Sure. Cool. Yeah, I'll upload more stuff, the stuff you discovered, and I'll put the spell up there so you can see the specs for it. So so I assume you'll finish reading that book. So why don't you roll another? You add another. Well, what's your Cthulhu Mythos, Doom?
11 now.
Okay, so add another 3 to your Cthulhu Mythos for finishing reading that book. And then you lost how many points? 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, there's a max loss, so roll, I think it's roll a die 10.
Wow.
Okay.
There's a max loss.
That's 6.
Yeah, so lose 5, right? Because you lost 1 on the earlier. So lose 5 more for reading the rest of that book.
Do I get an insanity then?
Don't bother because it's like reading the book, so it's over time.
Okay.
It's not like all in one shot. It's like so you
And that was
the Africa Dark Sect. African Dark Sect.
I love how you're making very, very specific pronunciation.
African Dark Sects. Okay.
Dark sects.
Yeah.
So I can do a first aid roll on myself in the speakeasy bathroom.
Sure. 2 people can do first aid, so.
Can anyone help me, or I just have to heal naturally now?
Oh no, you have to do the medicine roll. So after a week, you have to do a medicine roll, see if you get rid of the major wound.
I mean, has it been a week since we came back from Mexico?
No, it's
No, we went right into this. Huh? There was no time delay.
4 days.
I do not. Well,
Yeah, no. I can't help you.
I'm still waiting for the doctor to come back.
It's just that ugly zombie bite wound. It's just
It festers.
Yeah, it's festering and it's like teeth marks and
Nice. You know, infected,
And
zombie.
and not only a human bite is so filthy, this is like a dead human bite.
Yeah, I
It
know.
like has a cheesy discharge.
Thanks.
Smells like almonds.
Thanks.
Oh,
so we're all for skills.
yes. So the end of session. So you might as well roll your skills, roll your luck. If you fail your luck, get 2 die 10 luck.
You fail your luck, you get 2 die 10.
Yeah.
I get 3d10 because I'm lucky.
I rolled a 99 for luck. Sweet. So 2d10.
Yeah, I rolled and failed my luck, and I got like something like I rolled 2 9s and a 6, and so I got like all this luck back.
Oh, you almost got doubled your luck.
Yeah, I got like 41 now, so I'm doing good. Actually, 42.
Awesome.
So I'm back. I'm back, baby.
And the max you can go is 99. Is how much luck you can have.
Well, since I had a extreme success on my unarmed fighting skill, that one blow.
Oh,
Yeah, every
do
skill.
you improve?
Every skill you check, you roll. If you fail, you go plus die 10.
Yeah.
Is it for dodge as well?
Yeah, dodges too.
That's only if you do an extreme success, or just if you
No,
success.
no, any success. Any success.
Oh, any success. Oh, okay.
Any success, check the skill, and then at the end of session,
Roll
roll
and
percentile.
fail.
Fail, you get die 10.
What about casting that spell for her? Does the spell count as a skill?
No, it's just once you know the spell, now you can throw it. So
Yeah, and I'll have all my magic points back by now. Okay, I'm calling it a night then.
okay, I'm gonna turn off this.
Thanks.
thing.